Yo, 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 yo. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's been a long time coming, but I told y'all. It's time for me to get my flowers. I tried to tell them. They did not want to listen. They did not want to listen. Let me get my compadres in here, because y'all gonna have to hear what they got to say. When I call your name, hit the like button, tweet it out. Y'all know we always appreciate you guys. Let me tell you what. I'm gonna mute this music real quick. Let me pull my compadres in here. Oh man, today is a good day. Did anything happen today? Any news come out y'all want to talk about? And when I call your name, Stony in the house, Barrios, Uvu G Rich, Javon, my brother, Buck. Oh man, praise God, with the super chat, Shattered Glass with the $2. J-Nub, it's really true, it's over. Brother, it is over. Over. It is over. Whole slate. The whole slate. Who's still denying? That's what I want to know. Who's out here denying? God damn it. Let me open up Discord, man. I gotta get the homies in here so they can get their bars off. All right. Oh shit, praise God. Another super chat. Sick, my brother. It's coming. Hey, you already know I got it queued up, brother. You know I keep it queued up. Y'all gonna jam this real quick while I open up Discord. It's coming. Shout out to my brother Sick. Hey, we jigging over here. JP Loco, my brother was in too loud. You ponies and your point million. Y'all did this. Big facts, brother. We did this. And we want to let them bots know we did this. We caused this hurt and pain. There we go. Hold on. Let me see something. The whole slate coming. It's coming. Say something, Buck. Hold on. Hey, everybody, I got the crew in here. Let me add a source so we can hear them. And we'll go from there. Add is it audio input or audio? Let me do this here. Hold on. Hello, Disney Foza. Hold on. Is it desktop audio? All right, both. Let me add the desktop source, and then I'll get back to yeah. You said desktop audio. It's not audio output capture, is it? Oh yeah. I got it.
Check.
Say something, Buck.
Check. Oh yeah, I hear myself on there.
There you go. All right, we got the crew.
Volume. Make everybody let us know how it sounds. But yeah,
Hold on.
I got rid of my Series X by the skin of my teeth.
As you should have, brother. As you should have.
You know, like before I went to go.
Oh shit! Praise God! Shut the glass with the $2. What Pastor at?
Yeah.
Listen, Pastor is hiding somewhere with his stinking ass. He gonna try to find some kind of way to damage control.
Making up rumors.
Yeah, he gonna damage control in some kind of way.
Because I kept hearing your voice. Every time I look in the corner of me, like that Series X is still sitting there, and I got to go to Vegas. I got to do all this shit. And I'm like, every time fucking some bad news would come out, I'm like, I'd hear that voice. Damn, Buck, you need to get rid of that Series X. That ain't gonna be worth anything. You know, that kept playing, so I finally got rid of it.
We kept telling you.
Thank God, I still got money on that card too.
Facts. Well, while we going there, let me get a shout out to everybody that's in here. We got 103 people watching so far. We gonna get a couple of 100 more in here. We know it's midday, everybody at work and stuff, but you know, we got some breaking news. It's not really breaking news for us. We knew it was coming. It's coming. But we gonna talk about it anyway. Stony, Barrios, Uvu Rich, my brother Javon, Buck is back here, Spider Silver, plus Ultra in the house, Navenzor, Pastor Joe's boyfriend is in the house. What's up? Phil Bosch, I see you. Lunche. My brother said the whole slate. Big facts, brother. Who else is in the house? Hey, we are in the Discord, brother. Cephalon Snow, what's good, player? We see you. Where Pastor? Listen. Pastor probably coming here. Well, we knew this was coming, and Xbox is gonna make money. One Numio in the house, my brother Michael Moranian. What's good? I knew it. Big facts, my brother. Salute to you, Karan. My brother Karan made in day in the house. What a glorious day. Big facts. Huge glorious day. We got Soldier for Life in the house. My brother Shattered Glass. Of course, he came through with the super chats. Over there, my brother said grand opening, grand closing. QG in the house. Salute to you, player. Crackdown on gaming. What's good? Peter Zeke, we see you. It's a party. Big facts. We got the Queen in the house. What's up, Queen? Terrence Singh, my brother, you already know what time it is. I knew you was gonna be here, brother. I knew you was gonna be here. Big caught in the highs, total victory. They got to pay up now. Big facts, brother. Big facts. Listen, they don't want to believe it. We tried to tell them, but they didn't want to believe it. Jesus in the house. Hero Down Under. We got, man, we got a lot of y'all in here. Salute to y'all, man. 130 going up. Always an air game. Let's see. Forza belongs to PlayStation. Listen, we got the best simulation racer in the world on our platform, and we got the best open world racer in the world on our platform. We don't need it. And guess what? They might patch it for VR. We don't talk about it. Jesus in the house. Gabriel in the house. What's good? My brother. I'm gonna make sure I try to get all of y'all. Make sure I don't miss anybody. As usual,
and they think they're getting more hardware.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. One member in the house. Member, he said, yeah, the coping level today is at an all-time high. We got Shattered Glass with the $2. J-Dub, it's really true. It's over. Yes, sir. Andre, I see you. Jiggery Pokery in the house. DJ, what's up, my brother? Listen, Rami in the house, my brother. Shout out to my brother Sick, man. He always blessing YouTube in the community with all the best hits. Nobody can fuck with my brother. Salute to him. Foxing around in the house. JP Local, as usual here. So my you ponies and your poor begging. Y'all did this big fat. We gonna keep poor begging, my brother, like Phil said. No, what do you say? No walls and no red lines. Game Trousers, yeah, he down bad today. He hiding. He owes somebody probably some money, as usual. He went in the eyes. Mario Heat. What up? Who else we got? Yeah, Aaron, my brother. He gonna come in here hating, yeah. Oh, that old game, that 5-year-old game. We don't care about that. Rashado, see, Halo Master Chief Collection is next. Absolutely. What's that insider that said all this stuff? He's always been right.
Nick DeMerc, I think. The
No,
COD
no.
guy. Yeah.
No. The other guy, Nate the Great or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
He said it all.
Oh,
He
yeah.
said it's all coming. Johnny, listen, what we got another super chat. My brother Glassdoor. He said between GT7 and Forza, we redlining. Big facts, brother. We there day one. With Shattered Glass for $2 where I passed the ad. Michael Morgan in the house with the $2. He said, no, we're port receiving. Big facts, brother. Big facts. We're not port begging, we port receiving. Big facts. That's the message of the day. Couldn't say it better myself, man. Salute to all y'all. Let me we got about 150 people in here. More coming. Total victory. We gotta pay up. They gotta pay up. Big facts. Listen. We seen that chart. We know what's coming next. We know. Even Jez Corden out there saying Halo, Flight Simulator, Gears Ultimate, all of that's coming, man. We tried to tell them.
This is what you get for years of this shit. Years of denying console sales and game sales matter.
Yeah, we tried to tell them. Why do y'all think they didn't listen to us? Why do you think they didn't listen to us when we tried to tell them?
Some did, I think. I think it got through to some people.
I don't know, man.
Because they wanted to get back at us. That's why. That's all.
Yeah. So we got Halo Master Chief's collection.
I don't have that attitude of like I'm celebrating or dancing on graves. I just happen to get a lot of this out of the way. Like that. Remember that summer when Z was gone for a while and we would do those streams and shit.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of my message then was get this out now because it's just gonna be more depressing later.
Exactly.
Like, just, you know, I looked at it like not that they're failing and all this shit. I looked at it always like they're basically closing up shop, and there's this window, this 1.5 year window or so, maybe less than that. Where it's kind of like a going out of business. And they're just gonna continue and like they were, but it's gonna slowly
wind the big shit down.
Yeah, they're winding up. I mean, like remember the Best Buy shit and just like on and on. Every day there was something that would point to basically you're not going to be doing consoles anymore. Essentially, as we know it. A console company as we know it.
A traditional console that's going to compete with the PS6. It'll probably be underpowered or PC shit or whatever.
That doesn't mean they can't put out hardware and shit, but it's not going to be. As far as console hardware, there's not really any point. Even if they had a couple of games, it's like you could just get one console and have everything on the PlayStation 5. So, that basically.
Yeah.
I was expecting this announcement to happen this month. I was expecting it in March or something.
I'm gonna tell you why it happened right now. They released the financials yesterday, correct? So we got the financials, and in those financials, they said that there was going to be some single-digit increases.
Less console sales.
Well,
in the following quarter.
Well, yeah, but it's less about console sales. They know they're going to sell less consoles. They're not worrying about that now. But right now, they're worrying about the money, the revenue. So they said it's going to be a slight single-digit increase in revenue. Well, how do you increase revenue if you're not releasing any games? Well, the games that they're going to release is Indiana Jones on PS5, Forza, Doom, right? And probably
Avowed will probably come later this year.
Yeah. So so it's all coming, man. And I don't know if you see who's the, how can I say it, the company that's doing the porting of this game. They're working with the
So
for the Halo and shit,
Shoot,
or
Yeah.
the Gears or whatever.
Possibility. Who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. They would definitely put their games on Switch because there's
Yeah.
such a big player base and they buy games. So
well,
yeah,
they said it.
they kind of
said it.
Phil did this to himself by not telling people to buy games. Like
Yeah.
seriously, this is what it came down to.
JP Loco with the $2. He said, unless it's SO, they can keep the other trash. What's SO? Oh, Sunset Overdrive? Boy, want that Sunset Overdrive. See, I don't know if it'll come. They because they would have to spend some money, and I know we'll buy it, but I don't think Insomniac gonna waste no time. Didn't
they sell that IP back to Insomniac or some shit?
Yeah. Insomniac.
I think they moved on at this point, honestly. If anything.
Yeah.
Now you might see an iteration of it, like them take that idea and expand upon it to make a different game. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Well, I think I don't know, man. I just I'd rather them to make a new game, a new Sunset Overdrive 2 or something. Don't port that old shit.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like take that and just do a new game with new features, and just do a totally new game, but with that as the base. Like a 2 or whatever, or reboot it or whatever you're gonna do.
Yeah. And let's get this out the way, right? Because I see some people saying some stuff. Hey, shout out, we got 200 people in here so far. Here's the thing. Forza Motorsport is competition for GT, for Gran Turismo, not Horizon. Forza Horizon is an open world game. They're not the same. They're not in the same category. Two totally different. That's like comparing Gran Turismo to Need for Speed. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I appreciate you. Yeah. Damon Time Reezy in the house with the $2 said, pathetic Port Megan Pony still got no games. Big facts, brother. Big facts. Talk your shit. JP Loco with the $2. Microsoft still owns publishing rights though. Oh man, they down bad. Always Mad Gaming with the $2. Hey bots, I'm at Home Depot with rope and chairs in hand. Big facts. Hey, we got my brother. We got the console warlord in here. Next Gen 720. Almighty Next Gen 720 Johnson. Hey, brother. Okay, so breaking news today. We got Forza Motorsport is coming this spring, right alongside Indiana Jones. Forza Horizon, yeah, Forza Horizon 5, alongside Indiana Jones, Doom, and Halo.
With crossplay.
Yeah, with crossplay, and along with Halo Master Chief Collection, according to J.S. Corden. So, what's your thoughts about that, brother?
You know what's crazy? Like we said, I guess when it's like 2 weeks ago, when you said that these are what you call control leaks.
Yeah.
And this stuff doesn't happen for no reason.
Yeah.
Like I tell you, it's all this time. Just today. We get the interview with Phil. You had the interview with Phil, and the red lines, and like I said, Gears and all this. It's going to be day and date.
Yeah.
The hardware is going away. Because when they said, once you see Forza go, once you see Gears go, once you see Halo go,
that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, it's a bit. It's a bit of sad. It's a bit of sad moment.
Yeah.
That, like this.
The end of an era.
It's the Dreamcast 2.0.
Yeah. We got Cosmic Hero with the $5. So Sony reevaluates their PC strategy and GT7 port gets canned, and then Microsoft just gives away Forza. Crazy guy, that's crazy. Lincoln Clay, my brother, with the $5. I wonder if Forza will get a PSVR 2 support. I think it's gonna get a patch, brother. It's coming. It's coming. That's another thing, Z. Let me pay this last bill, and I want to say something. Phil Line, he got several running hardware, gonna throw her under the bus and go full third party. Game Pass dies once this, and Nintendo cash starts to come in. Yeah, he ain't lying. But that was other news that came out today. Sony is they're gonna go away from their PC strategy. They canceled the ports of Demon Souls and GT7 and all those other games. It wasn't enough sales for them. So that news came out. That news came out. Yeah, that news came out, and then that's crazy.
Hey, yo, I told you, bro. That's the new fight. We're gonna fight PC jokers.
Oh man, listen.
Shout everybody rocking that love. Appreciate you. Everybody rocking that love. Man, that's wild. That's wild. But no, but back to saying, bro. Let's wait.
Yeah, Navenzo went to $2. More bad Xbox news. See on another honey pack. Oh man, big facts.
Yeah, the king of the Bluetooth is back. Fresh with the honey pack. Bad Xbox news. My God, my control is hard.
Wait, hold up. J-Dub.
What up, brother?
I think one of the bots, I can't remember if it was Mello or Pastor or
both of them.
Or 5 quarters. I can't remember which one of them said it, but one of them said that since Microsoft is doing all of this, Sony's gonna follow suit. Now you just literally just said that they changing their strategy with PC gaming. I thought PlayStation was following. Matter of fact, I have a screenshot of post up saying that Ghost of Yote is going to drop day and date on PC and PlayStation this year. So what's up with these bots making these? Let me, you know what? I'm going to drop it in Discord. Just give me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I'll find that picture so you can post this on screen.
Well, with today's news, Sony ain't doing none of that. They giving up on their PC initiative. And it makes sense. Why would you do that when you ain't getting them but a couple of hundred thousand sales? And you got Phil dropping his whole slate on your platform, all that extra 30% of revenue coming in. You ain't got to focus on PC. Demon Time, Reezy with the $2. Enjoy Concord. Oh, wait. 10 cancel games. Oh, wait. Yeah, listen, here's the thing. That's a good thing that Sony canceled them games, that they canceled the live service games, that they canceling all the PC. That's a good thing for the console gamers. We want them to cancel that shit. We don't want none of that shit going to PC. That's a good thing. Demon Time, Reezy again with the $2. Spider-Man 2 on PC, yes. Yeah. And nobody talking about it and nobody buying it. It has the lowest amount of sales for a PC port. Crazy.
That's why they're canceling all that PC shit, because it didn't sell. If it doesn't make enough to pay for the port, then why do it?
Yeah. It's just not the way things going. Let's face it, PlayStation, Sony, and Microsoft gonna make a lot of fucking money. They're gonna make a crazy. You know how many people gonna buy Foza Horizon? A lot. I'm gonna predict at least 4 million, maybe even more. 4 million sales. Halo, you're probably gonna get 4 to 5 million sales, if not more. Gears, you're probably gonna get about 7 million. You're going to get a lot of people buying these games. Gears eBay, can you imagine day and date? Yeah, we're going to be there now with y'all. If we buy our own games at 15, 16 million copies of our own games, we'll buy y'all games. JP Loco with the $5. See, Don Matrix your Xbox and Phil was like, oh my, Matt Booty made coffee. Oh man, he ain't lying. Listen, do y'all still think that Phil was the way, the truth, and the light? Do y'all think they should have stuck with Phil or found somebody else?
Oh man, that's obviously the CEO gives a shit about. I'm sorry to curse on your platform, but the CEO don't care. CEO don't care about Phil Spencer. You see what he doing? He overrode everything Phil Spencer wanted to do and say, "Yo, everything going everywhere." That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I found the shit.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna drop this shit in the Discord.
Yeah.
And the whole reason for that is them buying ABK, because now the bean counters are in charge. Because they want that money back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But Phil kept saying, like, they gave us $100 billion. We got to pay that back. He said that in the interview, you know?
Yep.
How else you going to pay that back? Game Pass is just not giving, you know, it's just not giving.
1 or 2% growth in a quarter. That's it. I'm telling you, Game Pass is going to change because them stockholders are not going to let them just keep. That's why MLB isn't in there, because they're not going to waste the money whenever they're the biggest publisher.
That's true. I forgot that they just removed MLB from Game Pass, so that's another big blow.
Well, in like April or whatever it drops.
Yeah, and listen, we got my brother Nethos back here. Hey, Nethos, what do you think? Do you I don't know if you got your mic on or whatever. I really want to just hear your opinion. What do you think about some of these Xbox games, or at least the big three? We know others are coming, but what do you think about the big three coming to PlayStation? Is that a nothing burger, or is it something?
Well, I want to apologize before I go, just because I know my mic is dog shit, so sorry about that.
You good. You good.
Yeah. But I want to say, like, before we even start, I'm going to do my famous question, because you know that's how I talk on podcasts. So, J-Dub, what is an Xbox?
Oh, man. You know where?
What is an Xbox? Is it the console? Is it the PC I'm in front of? Is it a television like an LG or Samsung? Apparently, it could be a PlayStation. It could be a Nintendo at this point. Here's the thing. You just asked us, like, is Phil Spencer the right move? Should he have been the CEO of Xbox? Should they have kept with Phil Spencer? I question if it's Phil Spencer or not. Like, would Xbox really be any different right now? Would Xbox even be making consoles with or without Phil Spencer? I think the idea is Microsoft, with the Xbox One, fumbled, failed. That's just a fact. That console severely underperformed. Where they wanted to surpass 360 numbers, they went way under 360 numbers. About half of that shit. Yeah. Or maybe a little over half. They run at like 50 million.
Yeah, 40.
Then you get to the Xbox Series console. You're like, all right, we're going to turn this generation around. We're going to do better. Ideally, they want to get, at least 60, 70 million, or closer to 360 numbers, right?
Yeah.
They are underperforming against an Xbox One. Yeah. What is this battle anymore? What is an Xbox? I think that's where they're just questioning, like, what is this platform? What do we do? We know back in 2017, with the idea of, I want to say it was actually Satya Nadella, not Phil Spencer, that came up with this whole Game Pass initiative, right? Keith Stevens was just hinting at that, like, why are we going to keep investing into this subscription service? Like, what is the point of Game Pass? Well, there is no point to Game Pass if it remains just on Xbox, just on PC. Let's be honest. If you want to be the Netflix of gaming, Netflix got to where they are because they're fucking everywhere. They're on a PlayStation, they're on Nintendo, they're on an Xbox. I'm talking about console, but they're also on your PC, your phone, your TVs. Any goddamn device you can think of could basically run a Netflix. Game Pass can't be any different. If you want Game Pass to grow beyond 30 million, which it's been feel like stagnant at this point, right? I think they're only at 30 million. You can't keep growing on a console that's not growing itself. You can't keep growing on PC alone. You gotta get this thing to elsewhere. You gotta get this on a PlayStation. You gotta get this on a Nintendo. Platforms that are selling. Platforms that could use a service. Now, I know Sony's not gonna be a big fan of getting a Game Pass because they didn't want EA service on there, right? Yeah. They want EA Play there. And Nintendo's Nintendo. But if you tell Sony, you tell Nintendo, look, I'm getting the fuck up out of this console business. If you guys just put my games on there, which they're already doing, and if you take this service, I'm the fuck out of here. Because let's be honest, the next Xbox is the last Xbox. You're going to get some sort of handheld, right? That's what they confirmed. And you're going to get probably a traditional console, the Xbox Series successor. I'm not buying the Series successor. I'll probably buy the handheld just because that's different enough. But beyond that console, beyond those two devices, I really do not see Microsoft continue to invest in hardware that is going down and down. Heath, you just brought up how, like, it is the investors in charge right now. Are these investors going to keep wanting to invest into a console that's a failing product?
No.
They're not. So at the end of the day, what is an Xbox? I ask the audience, I ask you on the panel. I think an Xbox is just whatever device can play a game, whether it's your phone, tablet, PlayStation, Nintendo. Xbox is, in fact, a service now. The fear that Z had, like, back in 2015, I want to say, when he asked Phil Spencer directly, like, I don't want my favorite brand to become a service. Phil Spencer lied to his goddamn face and said it won't be that. Well, it is that, goddammit. And the Activision Blizzard deal solidified that. Look, I think this was always their course of plans. They just had to push up everything because they spent, what, 80 billion plus ZeniMax. So, like, let's just say 90 billion or so.
Yeah.
it is what it is. But I'll shut up and let you guys continue.
Man, thank you for that.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
That brought the spotlight on them. You know what I mean? That put the spotlight on all of them, and now they don't have a choice but to do that.
Yeah. Let me get some of these bills. W Vern Games with $5. I'm copping Forza. I can pick up where I left off. The reason Spider-Man is low sales is showing that PC players still gaming on a 1080p monitor. Well, that's true because Steam says that majority of PC gamers still game at 1080p. Make it simple with the $5. My brother, he said, here's $5 towards your copy of Forza Horizon 5, J-Dub. Salute to my brother. Manolis in the house with the $5. What's up, J-Dub? Mark my words. Game Pass is the next mixer. They're going to get rid of it as soon as possible. Oh, man, listen. Nathan was spitting bars. I can't deny everything that he said. It literally happened. And they spent the last year with this whole marketing and ad campaign. This is an Xbox, that's an Xbox, this toaster's an Xbox, refrigerator Xbox, your phone, everything is an Xbox. They did that on purpose. Glassdoor Gamer, my brother. Everyone has a Netflix for gaming. They say now it's not just Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think that gaming is not, and I always hate when people try to compare movie streaming services and TV show streaming services to gaming, because you only have so many hours of the day to dedicate towards a particular game. Whereas a movie, you can jump in a movie and then jump out and go do something else, right? Gaming is way more expensive. And I think Game Pass was a gap stop. Back when Microsoft really didn't have anything cooking, the way they kept gamers from leaving is they created Game Pass. They bundled all of their games, they threw it in a cheap service, and that bought them about 3 years. And then they finally bought a bunch of studios and publishers and stuff to have games, but they can't keep up with that because that $20 a month, $15 a month or whatever, is just not enough for that 30 million install base. It's just not. JP Loco with the $5. PlayStation, the new hide your kids, hide your wives, now hide your games. Yeah. Listen, this is a new era. This is a new day and age. Levon, what do you think? You got the Switch 2 coming out in a couple of months. Like you getting all these games too. So what do you think as a Nintendo guy?
More games the better, honestly. That's how I see it. More games the better. More games the better.
Well, I know the biggest complaint about the OG Switch was that it really didn't have a lot of third-party support, and the third-party support that it had,
it got
wasn't.
Some, I mean,
but the third-party support that it had was kind of hamstrung by the performance of the weaker hardware. Where now you got 4 or 5, I'm just assuming, let's say 5 times more powerful system coming. It will be able to run Forza Horizon well, and not like like fucking Mortal Kombat on the Switch, or Witcher, So plus they got DLSS and stuff like that. So the Switch is going to be able to run it a lot better. So I'm gonna be honest. Right now, I'm looking at a Switch. I got my PS5 Pro and I got my Portal. That Switch, if it can play Horizon and all my Xbox games, that made me my dedicated handheld.
That's your Xbox Portal right there.
Yeah, and why if Microsoft is coming up with a handheld, why would you select Microsoft handheld where you can only play Xbox games, whereas you can get a Switch to play all your Switch games?
I guess if you have your Xbox digital library, I guess.
Yeah, but I mean, that's true, but I'm gonna be honest. That's gonna get smaller and smaller because more and more people are probably deciding right now, I may not pick up this game on the Xbox. I may decide to go ahead and just pick it up on the Switch or pick it up on PlayStation. Some people may say with a vow, they may be like, you know what, I'm gonna wait till the end of the year. That game may come to the Switch. That game may come to PlayStation. So people are going to start thinking before.
I might interject on that.
Okay.
I've talked about this in the past, actually, because I agree the Xbox handheld doesn't make sense, but this is how I think of it, right? I think there's 2 handheld markets. There is Nintendo with their Switch, the dominant leader, right? Ain't nobody fucking with Nintendo. If we gotta be real, I get most of you in here are PlayStation fans. The PlayStation Portable, first iteration was it. Everything else could not fuck with Nintendo DS or Nintendo Game Boy. We can all agree to that, right?
There's no denying that.
So there's two markets. There's Nintendo's market that they just own, obviously, and then there's this new emerging PC market, where like you see in Rogue Ally, these new devices like Steam Deck. This new market where that's PC orientated, Microsoft could do well enough at that. Now, I'm not saying this is a big market by any means, but if assuming you can play Steam games on this new Xbox handheld because it's the Surface essentially, that's all I can see for this. It won't compete with a Nintendo Switch. It's going to be blown out of the water. But when you go against a Rogue Ally, a Steam Deck, Microsoft probably will hold their own. If anything, they might even beat those devices out, assuming you can play Steam games on this thing.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Dan. With that being said, the financials and stuff came out yesterday. The PlayStation Portal is the #1 handheld or accessory in the world. With I think when you do the math, there's around 4 million copies sold. Well, when you add Steam Deck, Rogue Ally, and all that stuff together, that came to around 3 million that were sold with the Legion Go and all of. So this emerging market you're talking about, there's about 3 to 4 million in that. But then this PlayStation streamer, there's something that nobody's asking for, nobody want, nobody care about. All of a sudden, it is successful. It came out and it's successful for PlayStation, and it's just a streaming device. So because we know through the leaks and stuff that'll come out, the PlayStation 6 is going to come out, and there's going to be a full-fledged handheld for the PlayStation 6. Do you think that is something that Microsoft is going to have to compete against?
So this is also my theory about the Xbox handheld, and then I'll let everyone else go.
Yeah.
So assuming that PlayStation device can also play Steam games as well as the Microsoft device, because I think you need Steam integration if you want to compete in this PC handheld market. That's what I'm calling it. Like, it's a whole different market that's just brand new, honestly.
Yeah.
I think what Microsoft is doing with their device is everything I said earlier, but they're going to prove that they can sell quote unquote an Xbox OS. And in the future, when Asus and other manufacturers come into this market, maybe Dell or so, they're gonna probably use Xbox OS because it's a proven strategy. So Microsoft can just be the OS, like how they're Windows, right? They want Xbox OS to be for gaming. Now, I believe if PlayStation does release this and has Steam integration, all that, PlayStation is gonna own that market. No question. You can play all your PlayStation games. You can play Steam games. Why would PlayStation not dominate that market? So I think this Xbox handheld is a one and done. They're just going to put it out there, prove their OS works, and start selling their OS, assuming it's successful enough.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a super chat, J-Dub.
All right, appreciate it. Shattered Glass with the $2. It's over, Xbox fanboys. Bitches. Oh, man. Demon Time Reezy with the $2. PlayStation, Nintendo games can play on Xbox in development mode.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, man. Okay, so here's the thing, right? And this goes back to what Needles just said. I don't see PlayStation caring to cater to Steam on their handheld. Like, for example, they make a handheld and they put Steam on it. I don't think they care about, I just don't. Microsoft is puzzling to me. Why would you want to have Steam on there? Because every time somebody buys something in Steam, you're not getting any cut. You're not getting that money. Your own store, you get 100% of the money. Even if it's your games and it's in Steam, that's less money that you get. But if they buy from the Microsoft store, they get 100% of those proceeds. So, like when people say, "Well, Microsoft handheld, they'll have Steam," they'll this. It's like it has to be either or. Somebody's going to suffer. If you know,
I think Neth is right. It's about that OS.
But But okay,
because you have Steam OS versus Xbox OS, like that is going to be a battle.
Yeah. Well, we know recently, right? Steam opened up its OS so anybody can put it on theof handhelds.
Yes.
So that means the Rogue Ally, the Legion Go, all of that. People are bypassing Microsoft. They don't have to pay Microsoft any money for the license of Windows anymore. So that's less money that Microsoft is going to get.
PC is happening too. I could see that happening.
Yeah, but we're also talking about Linux versus Windows. That's the real issue because SteamOS is Linux.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. No, absolutely. But that's free. Microsoft charges, depending on, obviously with wholesale and stuff like that, maybe $70,
Linux
$80.
isn't there yet, though.
Yeah, Linux is dog shit. That's what I'm saying.
Well, okay, and this is his dog shit.
But it's up to Steam to prove that it works. Like, this is the battle.
Yes.
Are you going up against established, OS with Microsoft and, Windows with Xbox, versus this new Steam OS with Linux? Like, this is going to be a battle. But like you said, that is a good question, J-Dub. When you say, like, Microsoft working with Steam, that's kind of weird at the same time, right? Like, if they're competing with these OSs, how are they going to also work together? Like, that is a question mark. And like I said, it's not confirmed that the Microsoft console would run Steam. I say it would need to run Steam because, like, how else are you going to compete in that market, right?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man, 2K1 with the $2. He said it's a wrap. Xbox is a wrap. Yeah, so I hear this, guys. I hear this, and this all sounds very plausible and true. I'm just trying to understand from Microsoft's side, outside of just making a piece of hardware, which is not going to sell a lot.
Yeah. If
you put Steam on there, and you expect PC guys to buy your handheld over other people's handheld. You see what I'm saying? Like, what is going to be the event? I could just get a Steam Deck. Or I can get a ROG Ally. Or I can get all these others. What makes, like a PlayStation Portal? You have no choice. If you're going to get a Portal, you have no choice but to, it's only for PlayStation. They only get the money. They're not sharing it with anybody. They're not telling you to go elsewhere. It's only there. But with Microsoft, are you just going to jump in line? There's like 5, 6 different PC handhelds out there. You're just going to get in the back of the line and just stay there and expect people to buy yours over others. I just don't see that. I don't know if that's a winning strategy for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but we also have to think about what this device is. Like, we're so fixated on the traditional handheld.
That's true. That's
what Nintendo's market. They're traditional handheld. These aren't traditional handhelds. These are PCs.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't stop people from doing what the fuck they want with these things. So they're going to get Steam to work somehow.
Yeah.
Like, it's a PC. It's the new Surface, basically.
Yeah. That's true. But then, you know what? You bring up another point. And I know it's hard for my mind to stop thinking that way as in the traditional way. But Nintendo is about to come out and drop like a nuke. Everybody is going to get that device.
Yeah.
And I get,
but that's why they're in their own market. They're the traditional console.
Yeah,
they have their own market. Nobody can ever fuck with.
Yeah. But if I can play, exactly. But if I can play all my Xbox games,
we're talking about nerdy shit that most people have no idea about.
That's true.
I mean, even Linux, like people don't fuck with,
know about that. Yeah.
Regular people don't fuck with Linux. They don't fuck with these PC handhelds. It's like
PC handhelds.
That's for nerds that know what they're fucking doing.
Products, basically.
Yeah, so that's why I called it a different market altogether. This is a PC handheld market. It's brand new. It's very niche. Very niche.
Yeah.
So it's a new emerging market, really. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well.
Might have peaked already, though.
Well, and that goes back, like when they showed the combined numbers of all of these handhelds that came out, I was expecting it to be, in the double-digit millions. And when I was like, I was like, damn, like, because and I listen. These PC dudes, they're liars and frauds because they'll make it seem like everybody has a 4090, that everybody has this. But when the numbers come out, it's like 90% of the people are gaming at 1080p. Majority of the gamers have like a 3060. They're nowhere near that top of the line graphics card and CPU and all that stuff. And so it makes sense when it's like the whole PC market, all y'all handhelds combined, it's only like 3 million, maybe 4 if you push it. Like, I would expect it would be more than that, especially when PlayStation just dropped a streaming device and they can hit that number by itself, just in one ecosystem, not scattered across multiple manufacturers and stuff like that. So Microsoft, I think they have an opportunity. I just don't know what that value is going to be. It can be the most powerful handheld out there, right? But what is that value? Because at the end of the day, what's good having the most powerful hardware, but you don't have the games, or you have the games, but they're scattered everywhere. Anybody can get them anywhere. Like, what incentive is there for a person to jump over there and get theirs?
It could be a hard sell. I can see it being a hard
Yeah.
sell.
Well, for people that want to still have access to their library and shit. That kind
No,
of
I think we got to call a spade here. Xbox hardware is a hard sell. Like, this is why they are where they are. Okay, let's be honest here.
I think you're right, Neth. I think it's about the OS. That's what it's about.
all about the OS, because Microsoft is known for Windows, the OS on your fucking PC. They want Xbox to be that shit for the gaming side of things. I mean, Microsoft didn't even want to make a console. They wanted to make an OS for like PlayStation? Yeah, that was it. They wanted to make an OS for the PS2.
Yeah. They ended up making it for the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, I ask you this question, JW, because you keep bringing up Sony's, streaming device, and they're going to have a dedicated hardware device too for
rumored.
Do you think with like the expanse and AI and all that, and like now we're getting cloud gaming to being somewhere? I'm not saying it's reliable, but it's getting somewhere. Like, a lot of people talk about how NVIDIA GeForce is actually pretty fucking good if you have a stable connection, right?
Yeah.
Do you think these new devices that are going to come out, they're going to have a graphics card, right?
Yeah.
But do you think these graphic cards are going to be kind of gimped? Like, nothing too special, maybe around the RTX 40 series, 30 series, somewhere equivalent to that. But they're going to be using AI and the cloud compute to get them to somewhere, worthwhile. Like, look at the NVIDIA right now.
Yeah.
They're going to release the RTX 5070, a consumer-friendly card. We're talking about 600 or less, right?
Yeah, yeah.
This thing with AI is competing against a 4090. I'm not saying better or whatever. Like, I know AI and DLSS is not the same thing. I get that.
Yeah.
But hear me out. If we can get cloud gaming to be somewhat reliable, and when we use AI upscaling, DLSS, whatever, PlayStation has their own version of that shit, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that how you're going to get the cost of these devices down? Because let's be honest, you get a Lenovo or whatever the fuck you call it, the Asus ROG Ally. Isn't that shit like
bucks.
500, 600? It's
No,
more?
they're all in the $800
that's
price
why
range.
they don't sell.
It's not.
So if you can get them down to 500 or so,
Well, see, here's the thing. Traditionally, with the consoles, the reason why the costs are generally in the $400 to $500 range is because the companies, they subsidize it, meaning they'll lose money off of it, whereas Steam Deck, ROG Ally, all of those, they're manufacturers. They're not subsidizing for anything. What you get is what you pay for. That's what it costs.
Yeah.
They're going to make their profit. They don't give a shit, right? They don't care. And so those manufacturers, they don't care about getting those prices down. That's just, it is what it is. They're going to make it. Now, Microsoft can subsidize it like they've been doing it with the Xbox Series X and S. Phil went on the record before and said that these consoles, they lose $100 to $200 on each console. We know Sony was losing money on the PS5 for the first half a year or whatever before they started making profit off of that. Nintendo, they traditionally make profit because they don't spend a lot.
Yeah,
they don't spend a lot. And they make a shitload of money off of the software because they don't have to deal with motion capture. They don't have to deal with voice acting and all this other stuff, right? So Nintendo make a crap load of money. AI is the future, and that's why that DLSS and Pistor and all that stuff is going to get the performance. And yeah, even right now, to this day, the RTX 5090 and 5080, all that stuff drops today. And even when Digital Foundry was doing performance and stuff, they're just like, without the AI, this card is basically the same as what you had before. The only thing that's different is the AI that allows it to do all the upscaling and stuff like that. So yeah, the future is that, where you don't have to be as powerful. And if the technology works and is good, I could care less. I just know that gamers...
you can bring down the cost, but the reason I asked like the whole AI thing and cloud gaming. So what if you have a device that has like a GIMP GPU, right? So it plays something in like a potato settings or something that's like not that great. But as long as you can connect to the internet and use AI, use cloud gaming, you can up your graphics, right? Like, it's a combination.
You know, they already showed shit like that. Jez said that they canceled all their like console shit, and the only thing to make it out of there is that controller with the cloud shit built in it.
Yeah.
Was that for Microsoft or?
Yeah, for Microsoft.
Yeah.
That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, and that's why they opened the door to LG and other manufacturers to do the streaming stuff. because it's all enhanced by the cloud. It's all the heavy lifting in cloud. And I know because we used to joke back in the day about the cloud power with Xbox One, but that was just a early. It was just, Microsoft does everything early. It's not that their ideas are bad. It's just they're on such the early forefront of it. By the time years pass by and is adopted by everybody, like, it's like the always online. You're right. They got dinged in 2013 about the always online. And by the time 2017 hit, everybody was always online. It wasn't a big deal, right? It's TV. They got dinged for that. But here it is now, nobody cares.
Yeah.
Sony's out there advertising movies and TV shows. Nobody cares, right? They were on the forefront, even with the cloud. Remember they showed the demo of Crackdown 3 shooting the wall and damage and all that stuff with the cloud, buildings falling down.
Epic bought it.
Yeah, it's just it's ahead of its time. It's just ahead of its time. It's fucking crazy, but it could. And honestly, I think that is the future. Here's the thing: you have so many people competing in the same space, doing the same thing. Nintendo's console is using AI and DLSS and all of that stuff. PlayStation 5 Pro is using AI and machine learning and all of that stuff. Whatever Xbox comes out is going to be using that. That's just the future. Now, I don't know if it's a who does it the best and I'm going to be honest, because I had this conversation with Kid Smooth, I think yesterday or whatever. He was kind of upset about some stuff. We was kind of going back and forth.
Okay, I won't go back to that.
Is it just that, is it because PlayStation is popular, people are just going to jump over there? Or is it because the hardware is better? Is it because just the game? What is it? Why is it that people just don't fuck with Xbox like that? Like, what is it?
Well, I think there's many reasons, and it's just all the reasons we've talked about all these years on these podcasts. You guys are the same chat, more or less, so you know the real reasons. But we'll get into that momentarily. But I want to ask, and this will relate directly to the conversation, the question you just asked. Can we just go ahead and agree PlayStation is the victor, right? And the console war is over? We never considered Nintendo in the console war. Nintendo just does their own thing. They're on this whole handheld market, right? And we established you are not fucking with their handheld market. They just own that shit.
Yeah.
You can try, but you're probably not fucking with it.
They opted out.
So
and created their
they
own
got ran.
Created their own market, right.
Yeah.
But so you had Sony versus Microsoft, and Sony, for all intents and purposes, completely blew out Microsoft. Yeah. Microsoft can't compete, even though they are the biggest publisher. They have Activision, they got ZeniMax, they keep buying studios.
They bought everybody.
Buying more studios, right? But they can't compete. Now, where I think Microsoft future is, they want to be the new Tencent, where Tencent's number one, Microsoft wants to be number one. They want to do shit Tencent does, right? So, can we just agree this console war is over? Whether we want to talk about why PlayStation was more successful, why PlayStation is the dominant leader, I think we all can just agree and just have to understand, look, there is no Xbox traditional console anymore. Your PlayStation, your Switch, your TV, your tablet, that is an Xbox. Yeah, you have the Series consoles for now. But we going to say those consoles are going to be here in 15 years? Yeah, because you're going to get a successor and that's it. That is it. So the console war is over. There is no point to even talking about it because there is no console war. There is PlayStation. That is your console. There is Nintendo for your handheld. And that's going to be it. Microsoft will have some devices. They're a waste of money because they're not going to be supported for very long. There's not going to be successors to these things. You might as well make your way to PC gaming. You might as well make your way to a PlayStation. You might as well make your way to Nintendo because you're going to get Microsoft games regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody back here will deny that. You said it. I couldn't have said it any better. JP Loco with the $2. Colt said he knew Forza Horizon 5 was coming for a month. Liar. Listen, he's right. Colt Eastwood is right. But this is what me and Z said. All of these guys know that all of these games are coming, but they go back to their channels and tell their fans a different thing. They go over there, and we were just joking with Dirt Griggity Nam, because Dirt said, "Oh, we knew this was coming, we knew that coming." And then so Z was messing with him, saying, "Oh man, you was out here selling drugs to the community. You knew this was coming, but she."
No, Paul.
It's hilarious, but Nichols is right. The console war is over. Let's face it, it's been over. It's been over. But
Yeah, it's
we drug it out as long as possible. And I'm gonna be honest, we knew this was going to get here at this point, but we didn't. Like, it's the difference between knowing and seeing it happen. Like,
Yeah.
I'm literally shocked. Like today, like I'm on record saying that this stuff is coming. But y'all know I bullshit. I stretch the truth a little bit, or I do what I do.
We're in
But
liquidation. Right now.
exactly.
That's what I've been looking at it for the last year and a half. It's like it's going out of business. Everything must go type of shit,
But
Well,
seeing
now
it,
that we agree
yeah.
that console war is over, like let's go back to J-Dub's question. I want to hear from you, the panel, you in the chat.
Uh-huh.
Why did PlayStation win? Why?
I'll be honest. I'm gonna.
Because they
just
kept exclusive.
Nah, this was a victory that started since Xbox One. Once they gave up, it was
Yeah.
never coming back. Mind you,
Yeah.
you going against somebody that you never had a history of beating. It's basically like catching a lightning in a bottle once with the 360. You knew even at the end of that generation, they were still closing that out. But you decided to throw that whole generation away by saying, you know what, fuck it, we gave up. You don't do that to a type of opponent like Sony, because you're never going to get that lighting back again. That's where they've been fucked up. And they kind of have a history of giving up, and I don't know why
Yeah.
it's that. It's going to work out. They just flat out, oh, fuck it,
Yeah.
we give up. So I think the fans just got tired of that shit too.
Oh shit!
The end of the
Well-
PS3 gen is when it turned around, because that's when they made The Last of Us, and that's when they, you know what I mean, doubled down on themselves pretty much.
Yeah,
Wow,
they
wait.
never kind of they
Hold
never
wait.
changed their brand. They just kind of evolved it over time and maybe dabbled in these
Yeah.
new things that would come up, like streaming and all that shit. But they never went fucking full bore into one fucking thing. They kept it what the brand was always about originally, which was
Yeah.
what it is.
We got Make It Simple with the $10. I'll continue to buy my games on Xbox for Play Anywhere. I do agree. Since the games are scattered, hardware will take a hit. I don't care about exclusives. I just hate money-headed games. Xbox ain't dead though. Oh man, listen.
Well, no. He is right about everything he just said. It's his choice if he wants to keep investing in Xbox. But Make It Simple. You are absolutely factually right. When you say Xbox isn't dead, you're right. But what is an Xbox? This is why they have this ad campaign now. Like, we have to understand the Xbox isn't just your series consoles anymore. It's not.
PlayStation is Xbox now too.
Yes.
My tablet's an Xbox.
Yeah, I will say this though. I will say this. Well, I don't know if y'all know it now, but PlayStation just replied to the Forza Horizon Twitter page, and it says, "Welcome to PlayStation," and there's a blue logo and a green logo there. It's just like, as a fanboy, as a PlayStation fanboy, oh my god, that's not what I want to see. Like, it's happening.
That's weird to see.
But as a fanboy, being totally irrational, because y'all are rational right now. But I'm being totally irrational.
Like Sonic and Mario.
Yes, that's not. I want them fights. I want Microsoft to fight for my dollars. I want them to bust Sony in the eyes, so Sony has to, that's why everybody say the 360 was the best.
Fighting for your dollars. They're just not doing it in consoles anymore. We have to give it up.
That's true. Well, I did say my fanboy hat. I did say my fanboy hat. Yeah, that's true.
They're fully third party. They've been going third party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, this is the same as Sega, really, right? This is like when you saw fucking Mario and Sega at the Olympics. You saw Sonic Heroes on a GameCube. This is the truth. Like, this is Microsoft putting their biggest franchises on the rival platform. Sega putting Sonic on Nintendo. Halo's not too far behind, by the way.
Yeah.
And Gears too.
And Gears.
Yeah, definitely. You're only going to see more games come, not fewer. You know what I mean?
More games.
Yeah, there's a reason why when they're talking about the next Halo or whatever he said, like, they haven't decided on the platforms yet. There are, quote unquote, no red lines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's over.
Yep. That's why he said no red lines, and then he reiterated it again because Xbox guys were trying to act like he didn't say it. So that's why he said it again.
No. But Pastor said something.
Pastor say, well, I need this. This is we don't want to talk about Pastor.
But agreed with me when I said, well, really, what you meant to be saying all this time was it's case by case what they're going to actually keep for their shit, which is what it was. But now it doesn't look like even that is true.
Well, I mean, going back to the developer direct, there was South of Midnight, which didn't have the PS5 logo, so there's.
Well,
that.
yeah, that'll eventually come. What Phil said was some of the older games that are already like won't come and shit because there's no point. You know what I mean? There are some games that won't come, but a lot of the newer ones.
Yeah, you import the old. You import games that you don't think that won't sell. That's what it is, right?
Yeah, that's what it is. If something doesn't do good financially, just because you put it, and that's the thing, just because they put it on Game Pass doesn't mean that they still want the game to do good, right? That's the whole point. If it doesn't, it'll probably
the purpose is to make money. So you spend money to port it. The goal is to make money. The goal isn't to just throw some shit out there just because waste all your resources and you know that's why we always said the big three was going to come because those were good quality games, right? For the most part.
And this is all because of Phil. This is all Phil because he deprioritized game sales and console sales. This is what it leads to.
Yeah,
I think Sea of Thieves was a good indication of that in the first place.
Absolutely, it went straight to number one. Yeah.
So once that was coming over, I'm just like, well, if they're not going to keep that for themselves, their biggest moneymaker, what the fuck?
And
why are you going to keep Halo Infinite?
Satya was bragging about it.
Satya brought it up. Yeah, that's the thing. He never brings up that shit, but he brought up that it was charting.
Yeah.
Well, like, we have to really go back to why Microsoft even entered in the console business to begin with. Back in the day, you know, in the early 2000s, 90s, what was the battle like? What was the foreground? It was to get into the consumer living room, right? It was a living room. That was all about. Sony had a distinct advantage with the PlayStation. They had their own Sony OS and everything in people's living rooms, right? They were fighting for that. Therefore, Microsoft made the Xbox console, put a Windows-type device in people's homes. It wasn't even Windows anyway. It was Microsoft's own freaking device. I mean, own OS. But either way, that was the idea. You get to the Xbox One, they're still fighting for the living room, but then you realize that same time period, 2013 or so, tablets, phones, that shit takes off. Like, it's been building for a long time. It completely takes off. It blows everything out of the water. You can run Windows and Microsoft Word and everything on these devices. The gaming revenue from mobile is superior. So Microsoft's like, why do we keep making an Xbox? Like, that became more and more a question every year. You see on the physical reports, like when they show the details for the physical reports, I know they're talking about like, oh, cloud gaming grew, PC Game Pass grew, console sales are down another 30%. Like, it's going to be lower and lower to the point where, like, they don't want to make an Xbox console. They would love Sony to be their console, Nintendo to be their console, Dell to be the handheld, you know, whatever. They just want to sell this OS. I keep circling back to this, but the way Windows backs up your computer, they want Xbox OS to back up your gaming device.
Also, they don't want to make the kind of software that you need to sell a regular traditional console either. You know, they want to do it the way they do it, which is, you know, closer to like a mobile game or what they do with their OS, which is you update that shit all the time. You know, it's just every 6 months you fucking update it or whatever. You know, not this fucking like two to what is it now, like 5 to 7 years to make some of these.
I see what you mean. Games. So instead of making like a God of War or Spider-Man, for example, they want to make games more like a Sea of Thieves, even like South of Midnight. What South of Midnight is, look, I think that game looks incredible, but let's be honest, it's no God of War in terms of budget.
No. It's like China. It's a small double
like China. Like China.
Yeah.
That fits their culture more. Microsoft's culture of how they use software. So they're not an entertainment company. You know, Sony has been able to kind of transition to doing those kind of the God of Wars and shit because they
Yeah.
are an entertainment company.
And don't get me wrong, I really think Xbox as a brand, because now we established what an Xbox is probably stronger than ever, right? Like the Game
Absolutely.
Pass is doing incredible. They're actually getting out quality games now. They're just putting on PlayStation and Nintendo, but they're getting out games you actually care about, games you want to play.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
the console war aspect is over. They're not making these games exclusive. They're not trying to sell their Xbox hardware. It's a means to an end at this point. This was all going to happen regardless, I think, next generation, but the Activision shit pushed it up because can we all agree this felt like almost rushed? Like suddenly Project Latitude's like in your face. Like,
Yep.
I felt like this came kind of out of fucking nowhere, but it's because
Nobody
they
understood
spent $90
that
billion.
this is Xbox campaign either.
No, but now it's becoming more and more clear because I know it's hard for you, Jay, but we have to accept the console war is over.
Yeah.
It's done.
I got to reprogram my brain because I got to reprogram it because I'm still looking at it from a hardware manufacturer standpoint. If you make, it's just they're just not in that space anymore, and it's going to take some time to realize that. I don't know, man. Things are changing. I mean,
we still like both.
Yeah, gaming.
Yeah.
We like the traditional, but I like the convenience of what services and shit offer, but not all the time. I just like it a little bit.
Yeah.
For certain games.
They just want to be a service, man. They sell you software. That's what they want to do.
Yeah.
Be third party fully.
The whole thing is
they played Phil Spencer's game so Microsoft is being what Microsoft truly is. They tried his way and it didn't work, so they decided to do what they do best, right? What they great at is be a service provider company.
Yeah,
this is what they really are at core.
Well, let's think about it this way, right? And like we should have known this was happening, like Jay said. Like they've been waving the white flag for a while, but now they just planted the white flag.
Yeah.
Microsoft looked at Phil Spencer, looked at how this man had this failing product that is an Xbox One, and like, let's give this motherfucker a promotion. Let's give this motherfucker a whole bunch of money. Like, we should have known they were on some other shit when they were promoting a guy who had a failure of a product. They're giving him this promotion, all this money, because they knew, like, look, we can do what we do, and that is selling software, that is being an OS, and that's exactly what's going around right now. This is the fruition of Xbox. This is what Xbox was always supposed to be. The OG Xbox meant to take the living room and so on. Xbox was just proving that, look, you can be an OS for your gaming device. It's just Sony and Nintendo don't play that way, right? Yeah. But now they're going to get Sony and Nintendo on board. They're going to get them to sell Game Pass. And Microsoft's getting the fuck up out of this hardware business.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do.
Because I say this, I say
the face of it because
why?
The relationship he has with the fans.
Yeah, he controls
let them off easy, and they noticed. Somebody higher up had to have noticed it. Wow, the fucking fans let us get away with a lot of shit with this guy, so they kept him around. That's the way I look at it.
Remember when Phil said they'll evangelize it? Remember?
Yeah. So that's why I was saying yesterday when somebody brought up the hypothetical, like, hey, maybe he's not such a bad CEO after all. I mean, when you really look at this shit, but
but can I say this though? As a Xbox console hardware owner since the OG, if you supported this platform and all the promises that they promised you throughout the years, at the beginning of this generation, all the way to now, in the last 2 years, they basically pivoted from that and told you any and everything in Xbox. A lot of dudes are probably fucking pissed. They're probably mad because they're like, I didn't sign up for this. You told me at the beginning of this generation when I bought these consoles that it was going to be the best place to play the games and I'll get the best exclusives and highest pixels and highest frame and all the stuff. And now you've pivoted mid-gen over to, mid-generation. You've pivoted. It's like, I don't know.
They finally get their shit together and they give up. Yeah.
I want to ask the panel this. Are any of you a fan of Jordan Peele, the director?
Yeah, absolutely.
His breakout movie with Get Out?
Yeah.
This is your get out moment.
Absolutely.
This is you at that party. The man grabs you to get out. Like, get out of this Xbox hardware shit. Get you on PC. Get you a PlayStation. Get you a Nintendo Switch 2. Get out. Like, you need to get the fuck up out of here.
I was saying that earlier because, you know, if I would have, like, a year ago, I would have got a lot more money for the fucking thing. So, like, I kept like I am half joking, but I'm not really. When I kept saying, you know, I kept hearing that voice in my head. You know, J-Dub saying, "Buck, you need to get rid of that shit."
I kept telling Buck.
You know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yo, you hear me?
Yeah. We hear you, brother.
Yo, what's up, guys? How you doing?
What's good, brother? Make it simple with the $2. If Xbox X's hardware, $1,000 plus PlayStation will be the future. Here's the thing: we're not going to do this because I already said that this was going to happen. I said the Xbox guy. A shout out to the 300 plus people that's in here. I said because the console war is over and because Xbox lost, and they're going to get out of their hardware space. Now those disgruntled Xbox guys, they're going to sit around, hate on PlayStation, and fearmonger. Oh, well, since Xbox is leaving, PlayStation is finna do this. They finna do that. They finna do it. It's like, you got to realize they're in the PlayStation and Nintendo is in a totally different space than Microsoft. Microsoft could get rid of Xbox today and nothing will change with them. They'll still be the world's richest company. If Xbox fails, Sony, the corporation, is done. The business, they're out of business. If the Switch fails, Nintendo is done. So they have no choice. They're not going to crank out $1,000 consoles. Let's stop that fear mongering. You know, it's just, it is what it is. And I honestly think this is a great time for another person, another company to come in with hardware and try to stake their claims. Same thing happened when Sega dropped out. Microsoft came, staked their claim. TurboGrafx dropped out. 3DO was there. Everybody, it's always been multiple people. Maybe the market is just, maybe gaming has grown so much where there's just not room for a third wheel. Do you think that's it?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think gaming has grown expansively, right? But it's not grown with console. It hasn't. It's grown with mobile. It's grown with your phone. Like, nobody wants to be in the console business unless if you're the dominant one. Like, Sony can be in the console business. They're the leader.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody can compete against a Sony. I don't think anybody can even try to compete against Nintendo. It's like, you have to just leave this market alone and invest into what makes money. It's mobile. That's the truth. Google's in the mobile business. They make phones. Apple's obviously dominant. Samsung's obviously dominant. They're the ones who make the money.
Yeah, but one of the problems with the mobile thing is that it's held down by Apple and Google. And you see, like, nobody can really come in there and say, I'm going to bring out a platform and put it on mobile because it's dominated by those two. And that's why mobile is just locked down. Like, it's not even.
But that's why Microsoft's fighting like hell because Google to open up their shit.
They won't. They won't. Because, that Apple, what is it? That Microsoft Store, whatever, that web app that was supposed to come out last year in July, kept getting delayed. They were going to what Microsoft has been trying to do is they're trying to build relevancy and basically saying they're doing exactly what they did with Ninja and Shroud when they did Mixer. Like, they were like, who are the top streamers? Okay, Ninja, Shroud, give them money, bring them over here to Mixer. Maybe that will cause something. They're doing the same thing with this. They saw what's the most played games? Call of Duty, go get it. Like, let's go get all these games and just put them in our bin. Activision, Blizzard King, that's great. Now we're relevant now because they never took their games, like even Halo Infinite. That was their attempt to create their Fortnite, was Halo Infinite. Free to play everywhere. Yeah. Let's go. Never did.
Yeah. But why did Halo Infinite fail?
Because they didn't know how to maintain Battle Pass. They didn't know how to maintain content and single play, all that stuff.
No. You're correct in all those things. That is true. But what did you just say? Everywhere? It was not everywhere. It wasn't on PlayStation. It wasn't on Nintendo.
Well, that was always their problem. Like, they would talk about everywhere, but it'll be everywhere but PlayStation and Nintendo.
Yeah.
But consider that everywhere.
The place people play games.
Exactly.
That's what he needs them for. And, one of the things I always wanted to add, and thank J-Dub for letting me come on here. One of the things I wanted to add to this is that, this venture that they're going on right now by putting their games on PlayStation stuff, I think it'll give them a little bit of a blip. but it's not going to solve their inherent problems of what they have done and what they put themselves in. And the other problem they have is they have a legacy console out there with a whole bunch of games that people have, and they're trying to tell people to go other places to play, and they better make sure that library of 350 games goes with people. Otherwise, they are they're dead to rights right now. Like, they have done this a sleazy way. I think they really gave a good slap in the face to all Xbox fans, trying to drag them along, tell them to wait to E3, wait until this, wait till we close the deal, and wait and wait and wait. And now they're waited here to this point, and it's like, yeah, thanks for waiting. We're going over here now. And now they left their people cold and dry. Like, it's like, yo, now it's like, okay, I got this library. You're telling me that you're putting your games other places. Go play where I want to play. Well, I have a library here. Where's that going? Is that coming to me with Windows? Because you made me go buy 360 games to pad your time. And now, do those 360 games come with me to the PC when I go to your store? Nope.
Yeah.
You have 50 games now that you got over there. They got a lot of work to do to make this vision possible, and they move as slow as a snail.
That's true. Let me pay these bills real quick. Make it simple with the two. Hey guys, let me know if I sound better. Somebody they were saying I sound different.
You sound sick. Like you have a cold or something.
Yeah, it's part of this NVIDIA broadcast software. It was an update. It was an update today. So anyway, bear with me with that. Yeah. Make it simple with the two. Like, if Xbox exit hardware, there'll be a $1,000 plus PlayStation in the future. Shattered Glass with the two. He said, J-Dub, why you sound so different, brother? Oh man, maybe it's Forza. Maybe I'm so happy because Forza and Halo coming. You know what I'm saying?
J-Dub's been crying.
I feel like new money. You know what I'm saying? I feel like new money. Make it simple with the $2. He said, I'm not fear money. Look at NVIDIA and Apple. I mean, that's true. I'm not gonna say that. I just don't think that we'll wake up one day and they'll be like PlayStation 6 is $9.99. I just don't think that, because they still have to look for market share. If not, people are just gonna $1,000. They'll lose a lot of people to PC. So they still. That's the thing about consoles, right? It's the ease of use and the cheap price. The entry fee is affordable to everybody. That's why they have a pro model for the enthusiast who wants more performance and stuff like that. They can pay a couple of $100 extra and get what they're looking for. That's what that's for. So I don't think Sony will ever be in a position to be that fucking greedy ever again. I think that PS3 era, that put all that shit to bed. They'll never.
Well, I do think they would go up to 800 though.
For a main console,
won't pay under 1,000. Yeah.
For a main console, not a Pro, but a main console.
Do you think the PS6 is going to be $600 or $700?
I think it'll be $600. I think it'll be $599. Because
I don't know. I think it's 700. I think it's 7.
I think it's 7.
Okay, so if that's the case, then that means it's gonna be even longer before people adopt PS6. They're just gonna stay with PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but that is the new norm, J-Dub. Look at the PS4. That shit's supported.
Dropping next year.
Yeah, but the
Plus.
Yeah, but the PS4, remember, it only got like 20% adoption rate, and the price was the same price as the OG PS4. That's the same price. The Pro is, in some cases, double in some areas. You see what I'm saying?
But what do you mean by 20%?
The adoption rate.
Oh,
the
for
Pro.
What? A PS4 Pro?
For a PS4 Pro.
Oh, yeah. I'm not talking about the, higher end models. Like, whether they continue the Pro models or not, I have no idea. Looking at the PS4, like the base PS4, the $400 console that came out, that shit was still supported to this goddamn day. They're only now stopping support.
Yeah, it's just that's true.
That's the new norm. Your PS5 is gonna be supported for a long ass time too.
They're gonna do the same thing. Yeah, it's gonna be more of a cross-gen type thing, and that's what I think. Yeah. They could always listen. They're always gonna get the people that want to buy, and they're gonna get them at the highest price point. Then they could always pull it down from there. Like next year, it'll be 600.
Yeah.
They'll keep dropping the price.
Yeah, that's the new norm. That's x86. Why they do that shit.
Man, that's crazy.
How long you think a third party will support the series consoles?
I mean,
that's a good question.
I don't know. A lot of them kind of pull out, like the indie devs. It's questionable if they make games or not on there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
at this point, if anything.
All right, guys.
Especially with this announcement today, that kind of,
Hey, test. Hey, do I sound different or do I sound the same as before?
Better.
There we go.
Better now.
Shout out to my brother Blaze and Shattered Glass, man. They wanted the real J Dub. They didn't want the fake one, the AI J Dub. You know what I'm saying? I said my AI to do this podcast. You know what I'm saying? I'm back here playing the PlayStation. My AI is running the show. We got DI Almighty Spartan God, my brother with the $2. AMD would only have to support one console. That'll make it cheaper. He has a point. He has a point.
I didn't think of that.
He has a point. Nintendo is with Nvidia.
Yeah.
If Microsoft's getting out of hardware, then AMD and Sony they're basically already hand in hand making next generation tech already. So he makes a great point. The price can come down.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, because that's more chips. Well, I mean, let's face it. Damn, it's really kind of messed up. Xbox only sold like 30 million this generation.
Yeah,
and they'll probably
finish
finish
out of 40.
They'll finish this generation out maybe 45 million. It'll be less than what they did last. Yeah, it's really kind of crazy. But what I'm going to do, I am going to try to get my hands on a day one Xbox Series X, just for storage keepsake, just like the Dreamcast. Like if you can go back in time and get a Dreamcast before, and store it in your collection.
No.
Oh man,
He called the Xbox an artifact. God damn it! Each one's gonna find it.
But am I wrong? I mean, at this point, the Xboxes.
That's a fact.
It's technically out of there.
I don't agree. There will be a next generation Xbox, but that is the last Xbox. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, that's why he's getting it, because it's the last actual
What are we talking about? The next Xbox or the Series X right now?
Series X
Series
right now.
X.
I'm gonna get the Halo joint. The one with Halo.
I have that.
The one with Halo on the bottom.
That's the last Halo Xbox, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Halo branded PlayStation.
Yeah, you might. I don't know.
Hey, Nethos, check this out. So we know for a fact, without a doubt, Halo Master Chief Collection is coming to PlayStation.
Yep.
It's gonna come on the Pro, so it's gonna run better, look better. DualSense, haptic feedback, all of the bells and whistles. If that Gears E-Day launched day and date with PlayStation, with that Pro, with that thing singing, it's gonna I would die if Sony
Gears E-Day is gonna be in 2026, right? Like it's not coming out
next
this
year. Yeah, next year.
So no, it probably still would be better on Xbox, assuming it comes with the new Xbox.
Okay.
Is it not a handheld? Or we told the new Xbox?
Yeah, Phil was giving up the Series S to talk about handhelds.
Yeah, they're gonna have two models. There's gonna be a handheld model and like a traditional console. That's what I believe is gonna happen.
The thing is, I can't see Phil Spencer talking about a new console when what's going on is happening. I don't understand it. It's got to be a tweet or something like that.
Well, no, that's the issue, Gaming Grindhouse. The reason you're getting a new Xbox is because this shit was greenlit a long time ago. And so it's coming out. That's the only reason you're getting it. And then they bought Activision.
I just can't see that marketing. Like wasn't have a showcase? Like, oh, hey, let me talk about this new hardware. I'm like, people will be like, what are you talking about?
The world's
Everything you're talking
most
about is playable everywhere
console,
else.
The highest pixels, the fastest frames.
They're going to do all that shit. Like, the most powerful console for a year.
Yeah, at that moment.
With a straight face. They can do the sizzle reel and stuff like that.
Can you imagine?
Incredible pixels. Frame rates we've never seen before.
Everybody's going to start laughing as soon as they see that.
Marcus, you might as well have the lion tamer and the goddamn fire circle.
But to answer J-Dub's question, like, yeah, it's probably going to be best on Xbox, assuming there's a new Xbox. But the year after, there's a new PlayStation.
Yeah.
But that's what's crazy. Like, these stars aligned to make, like, the console for their first party stuff is the worst place to play. The best console now to play is like the Pro, because they didn't come out with a mid-gen refresh for Xbox. Yeah. And then PC, like everywhere is better than their own console, which is complete opposite of like your first party software and hardware. It's
Well, but
insane.
that's why they're getting out of this market. Like this
Yeah,
console
they're
war is
done.
dead. Microsoft, they have been waving the white flag. It's just now planted.
Yeah, they're just letting it fizzle out because even when Amy in the Hood was saying all that shit like about how the console's done, like she's like, how many times can she say the console is gonna be down? We expect it to be down. Dude, it's been down for the last 3 years, like down. Like how?
I mean, just look at their numbers. So Xbox hardware rise keeps going down, but their software and services keep going up or more or less stagnant, right?
Up.
So like, how can you keep telling them to invest into this failing hardware? You can't.
You can't. And this is going to make it even worse with Forza and stuff like that. Like this is it. Like the fact that, and again, the general public, they're just gonna be like, oh, Microsoft put their games on PlayStation. All right, just close down
and
that.
Also seeing that number,
section.
like what was it, like 60% of the people purchased it on.
That too, yeah.
65. But, yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Those are horrible numbers. I can't. But when I saw those numbers, I could not believe that Call of Duty was like a blip.
During the holiday, during the holiday season, which is the
Phil
biggest
told them
season
not
ever.
to buy games.
Well, the thing is like, if that is what my thing is, that's why I said I don't think any of this stuff they do is gonna be like, if Call of Duty gave a blip, there's no other game in their arsenal that has the level of Call of Duty sales, especially on other platforms. Like you're gonna get good sales with Forza Horizon, probably Master Chief. You'll get a good blip, but you're never gonna get that Call of Duty. And if Call of Duty gives you that much, like the other ones, forget about like any of those other games, like Avowed, even Doom. Like nothing has the level of Call of Duty. And if that's all that Call of Duty did, 2%, what the hell? Nothing else is gonna do anything like that.
Yeah, so I'm not even keeping up. So what do you mean 2%? Like what happened?
Their content and services were up
Only went up
2% based on Game Pass. That was it.
Based on Game Pass, I see.
And that's Call of Duty and Game Pass. Phil Spencer, I got him right here.
And that's the holiday.
Right?
So in other words, you tell me Game Pass increased by 2% roughly. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So like,
pretty
what
much.
game do they have left besides Call of Duty that's going to give them any of that?
Why did Game Pass increase by 2% even with Call of Duty in there? Well, we know the answer. It's on a fucking Xbox. That's the fucking issue.
Well,
like,
no, it's subscribers. I guess it's subscribers, and they increased their price, so they have the two-factor.
People, are slowly adopting Game Pass on PC. Yeah, even though it's growing a little bit. But the truth is, Game Pass just isn't on a viable device.
Yeah.
It needs to be on a PlayStation. It needs to be
They
on
need
a
to put Game Pass in Steam.
Yeah, they need that in Steam too.
And
that's how you grow Game Pass.
See, Nvidia put their native app cloud streaming in on Steam. Microsoft doesn't have a native Xbox app.
That's been a rumor that they're putting Game Pass on.
But Steam probably won't allow it. Just like Sony's not allowing it, and Nintendo, because they make money from their storefronts. Who wants Microsoft to come walking in with a subscription that basically takes people out of buying stuff from their store where they get a cut? Unless Microsoft's going to pay them to put the app there. And who knows?
Yeah, but EA Play exists. That's on there.
Yeah, but EA Play is trials, though. See, that's the thing.
No,
it entices people to buy. Well, on PC, it's with the EA one. But I'm talking about on PlayStation, it's trials. So it entices people to buy after the 10 hours.
There's EA Play. You can play games on the EA Vault.
Yeah, but not new ones. That's the thing. New games.
Yeah, but that's a whole different matter.
But Microsoft's not going to say, we're going to put new games, like, instead of buying the games, you're going to subscribe to Microsoft and not buy it in their stores. That's the thing. Like, they're not. That's why it hasn't been there. That's why they got to port these games now to PlayStation and Nintendo, because they're not allowing Game Pass to be there. That's what they want, because this is all outside their ecosystem. They went outside the ecosystem 3 times already. They had their stuff in the Windows Store. Then they had to bend their knee and put their stuff they want on Steam because nobody wanted the Windows Store. And then they had Game Pass, and they wanted to put it on PlayStation, Nintendo, but they said no. And now they have to bend the knee again and say, okay, well, we're putting our games over there now. But they wanted to put Game Pass over there, but they didn't allow it.
Yeah, but then Steam's going to be on the new Xbox.
No, but the new Xbox is a PC. That's the thing.
But it's still an Xbox. Like, they are going to work together.
No, I don't think so. I think this whole Steam is going to be an Xbox. First of all, that makes no sense. What does that do for Microsoft? That Steam is on Xbox. It's going to be a PC.
Wait, so is my PC not an Xbox?
They're going to take no, it's not. PC is not an Xbox. They can call
PC
what
is
they want.
Xbox, and Xbox is also a PlayStation. It's a Nintendo. Like, we have to get out of that mindset of the traditional console. You're in that J-Dub mindset.
No, PC is no, they're gonna take the Xbox app and turn it into probably Steam Big Picture with some sort of overlay. That's what they're doing. They're not gonna. Do you think they're gonna take Windows and have a dual boot shit like that, where they're gonna put some OS over it? They're not gonna do that. They're gonna manipulate that Xbox app to look like the Xbox store and have cloud built into it. That's what they're gonna do. They're not. I don't. Or they're gonna have some sort of embedded features like game mode or something in Windows 12, and this is gonna be a big Windows 12 push.
What is an Xbox then?
I don't know. That's the problem they have. What is it?
No. What is an Xbox?
Microsoft says it's anything.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a service. It's buying their games.
It's the
so whether
OS
you want to
now.
accept it or not, you buying Call of Duty is
on
buying
a
an Xbox.
PlayStation. That is an Xbox.
Yes, I'm saying your PlayStation is an Xbox. Yes, absolutely.
Yep. PlayStation's an Xbox.
That's what they're saying, right? That's what they say.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying too.
But that's marketing. Is that the truth?
That is the truth. Are you going to be able to play Halo on your PlayStation?
You're going to be able to play Forza and Halo and Gears. Yeah. You're going to be able to play all that shit. So yeah, it is an
It'll
Xbox.
become an Xbox, right? With the lineup.
Yes, that's what we're saying.
That's so all the games, not just
So
one.
basically what he's saying,
Microsoft is a goddamn publisher.
yeah, basically what he's saying, the Xbox is out of here, right?
Yeah.
It's about their games, and their games are Xbox,
It's a wrap.
and they identified it as that, and that's how it is. And yeah, we're going to have to get used to that way of thinking for Microsoft. Shout out, man. We got about 400 people in here. Listen, this is a new era, right? It's going to take me some time to adjust to this shit, right? From a fanboy point of view, I understand it. And I keep telling people Microsoft is going to make more money than they've ever made in gaming with this decision that they're going. They are. They're going to sell
They're going to be stronger than ever.
Sonic on my PlayStation. Does that mean my PlayStation's Dreamcast?
Well,
Like Sonic on your
no, because
PlayStation.
Like the thing is, this is an Xbox. That is their spin to marketing. But I don't think anybody in their right mind is like, I bought this game. I'm part of the Xbox family, and that's what they're trying to propose. Like, you're part of our community if you bought Forza on a PlayStation. And it's like,
well,
I
Jess,
guess, like,
to
it's
be
just
fair,
their spin to make it easy. But I
you,
don't really
you are a
want that.
Sega customer when you buy Sonic on a PlayStation.
Yeah, but are you like this whole community thing? You know what they did with like Fan Fest and all this other stuff. They're trying to say that you're part of the community if you buy their games outside of their ecosystem. It's not even an ecosystem.
This is their third party strategy. This is their third party strategy. That's what this is.
Strategy. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's marketing and I'm sure and definitely they're getting money out of it. So yeah, it matters to them. But it's just this whole like spin that they're trying to do. It's really to try to soften the blow of more of what they're really doing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like somebody asked me here in the chat, like, how does Microsoft make money if you put like Steam on their new Xbox and shit? Well, how does Asus make money? Like, Steam is directly on these because these are just PC devices. That's all the new Xbox is going to be. It's a literal PC. You can put anything on there.
Yeah, but it is outside their ecosystem, though. Like, they get a percentage. Because, like, that's what J-Dub was saying earlier. Like, they went from 100%. They went from 100% of selling everything in their storefront, getting 100% back of what they sold, to now only getting 70% because they got to use another person's platform.
Yeah, but that's great when you sell 80 million consoles. It's not great when you sell 20 million.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. They need to hope to sell, and I think that's the thing. They made the decision going, we're selling less at 100%. Let's go where the players are, where we could sell more and get 70%. And that's the pay. That's what they're betting on.
Yeah, that's what they're betting on. They're not going to have a console. Like, the next Xbox is it. No more hardware after that.
Is the next Xbox going to have Steam software on it, or is this the handheld?
Yeah.
I've been hearing about the handheld.
The handheld for sure would have Steam on it, but I wouldn't be surprised the next Xbox has Steam as well.
It's going to be a PC. It's going to be a Windows on ARM. That's what they're probably trying to push, too. Windows on ARM with AI.
Yeah. And also, don't expect these consoles to be all that subsidized either. Like, these are going to be like 600 plus consoles.
Yeah.
My thing is this, right? Because regardless, if they make a handheld with Steam already have a handheld on the market. So you're basically competing with Steam simultaneously using their site. Because this is so weird. Like,
Steam sells Steam OS, though. That's the thing. They sell Steam OS.
It's going to be a PC with a Windows overlay.
Yeah.
That's what, with an Xbox overlay. That's what it is. It's not going to be an Xbox. Xbox is not. If you listen to Jason Ronald, what he was saying, it's basically they're trying to take whatever remnants of Xbox OS or whatever they have and try to integrate it over Windows and probably shut off some background processes or some things that Windows does. Probably make it friendly with a control like Steam Big Picture. They got a lot of work to do there, but they're not compromising Windows. Windows is their bread and butter. They're not saying, you know, here's Xbox operating system versus Windows operating system. They're gonna groove music this shit. You know how you can search for groove music right now on your goddamn Windows? It's like a vestigial organ that's just sitting there. They're gonna put Xbox, they're gonna throw it in the Windows pool and watch it swim without swimmies. And that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna throw that shit out there and they're gonna let it burn on Windows. And they're gonna try to use it as a way to promote Windows 12. That's what they're going to do. You got to think Microsoft, not Xbox. You got to think Microsoft and Stutter and Satya. Those guys want to push Windows 12. They already stopped support for Windows 10. They're going to use this whole Windows Xbox overlay, just like they try to get people to upgrade from Windows 8 to Windows 10, talking about the Windows Store would only support DirectX 11 or DirectX 12. You need to upgrade to get their Play Anywhere games. They're doing this shit again. This is what they do all the time. And unfortunately, it's run by Microsoft now, and Xbox is just, it is what it is. And they better figure out how to get those games over there. That's all I'd say, because there's a lot of people that have a lot of games.
So let me ask you this. Next generation, if they come out with another console, and they're going to have all these stores on their box, how are they going to handle, because Microsoft in Game Pass, or on Xbox, they have EA Play, Ubisoft's Uplay, and all that stuff. And even those third-party games, do all of those go away? Because those people are going to be like, well, you're a competition now. Like EA is going to be like, I'm going to put my games on your platform. You're a competition now.
Case by case.
How would they be a competition?
I'll bet Game Pass will change with like that, where it'll just be Microsoft shit, like their shit. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only way they'll be able to get it on those devices.
Yep. Because they already have EA Play and Ubisoft and all them other storefronts.
And they're directly like into Game Pass, at least for the EA part.
Yeah. Man, this is fucking crazy.
And I'll bet Microsoft would love to stop paying EA for that. You know what I mean? Putting that in there.
Oh, that EA Play, that shit blows ass now, and they increased the price of it with the balls that they got.
Not only
Microsoft,
aren't
they supposed to be getting rid of?
Turn to sports games.
Well,
they don't really shit anymore.
One would think, right? One would think that Microsoft is going to make a shitload of money off of the games, a shitload of money that they're going to save by not
making hardware.
Yeah, by not making hardware. They don't have those problems. Let me Twisted Sin, my brother with the $2. Yo, Jay, where Banana Boy at? He need to give you your flowers. Big facts, man. Shout out to Twisted Sin. If y'all haven't seen it, your boy Alex, that Alex dude, he used me in one of his videos about a year ago. I said I can't wait to play Foza Horizon 5 on my PS5 Pro. And that was before the Pro launched, when people still didn't think it existed.
You need to get a banana outfit.
Yeah, shit, I ain't doing that. Listen, I ain't gonna do that goofy shit. That's he can have that. But it's crazy how what I said, exact word for word, happened today. It's just crazy.
You know, this rumor started early last year.
I did say Starfield too. So we're waiting.
We're still waiting on that.
Starfield. Nate the Great. Nate the Hate. Is it the Great the Hate? Nate the Hate. I think that's his name. He said Forza, Halo Master Chief Collection, Gears Ultimate, and he said Flight Simulator and Starfield are coming in 2025. He said that.
I'll bet this summer Game Pass.
We're 3 weeks into this year. 3 weeks into this year, and he already nailed one.
Yeah, Starfield will be announced when Switch 2 gets closer.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. Yeah, because don't they have some new DLC coming too?
Microsoft plans to being the biggest publisher on Nintendo. Like that's literally their plan.
Yeah, they're gonna have a whole
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably when we're going to get a lot of announcements of the games coming to both of them.
Hey, they want to solidify your Nintendo Switch 2 is a fucking Xbox. They want to solidify that.
Did you when Phil had that podcast when he was talking to Paris and stuff, man? Or was it? I think it was Paris, man. He sold the Nintendo Switch like he was like, this is a great device. He sold that more than an Xbox. Like he was hyped up for that Switch.
Yeah.
Man. Summer Game Fest is going to be crazy this year.
In the hardware business.
Yeah.
There's no point.
Yeah. Yeah, and know what? Last holiday they didn't have any bundles. They didn't even try to bundle anything. Call of Duty.
Why lose even more money?
Yeah, they're done. They're just like let it go. Like let's play. Just release. Like they didn't have any bundles. No holiday bundle. No like family bundle. Nothing. No.
Hey, Microsoft is going to show out at Summer Game Fest. Watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, Microsoft's grand plan is like wherever you game is an Xbox. Like that's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yep.
But I tell you, no, the one thing that I'm hoping that all this stuff does, and I was saying this earlier, that I hope that now that they're in the business of selling games, that now they make sure they don't put out like that bullshit. We'll fix it later kind of stuff. Like now they got to, you know. So I'm hoping now that in the business of selling games, now they put out the quality, and you can see they're picking the games to get over to PlayStation. They're not dealing with the Red Falls and we're going to deal with some bogus bullshit. No, they're like, yo, we're giving you the best of what we got right now because they're in the business of selling games now. So now they can't get away with this Game Pass because I think Game Pass they gave it a bad rap when they were just like, oh, we'll fix it later, not shipping with 30. Oh, we'll day one we'll stop, and they just gave these excuses and people because it was in this Game Pass service, like this quality question. Now
Game
they
Pass
have to sell these games.
Day and date's going to change or something. Something has to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So hopefully they change now. They look at all their games with quality now because they gotta. Oh, yo, we're selling this stuff, and that's what I said. You know, the other challenge they have is that these other platforms, even Steam, you know, and PlayStation and Nintendo, they got their own exclusives and their own quality games. Like you got Mario Kart 9 sitting next to Metroid, and you're gonna put like Forza there. Like you better make sure you're putting your best foot forward on there. You can't be putting games saying, "Oh yeah, we'll patch it in 2 months. We're gonna ship at this frame." You know,
that's something I've said a lot too. Was the silver lining could. Now I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but they have to fucking start making better games.
Yep.
If you're gonna be under the quality of fucking PlayStation,
it's much better now.
Yeah.
But
like
otherwise,
I think
you're just gonna sell like shit. Like,
well, yeah. But I think you're gonna get the better quality games, like you can see them doing right now. But Game Pass is gonna increase to like $30 a month.
Yeah,
they're gonna be jacking that up.
Like once they get that to PlayStation and Nintendo, expect that price to get closer to $30.
I said that last year, $30.
Yeah.
Shout out to Tommy Bull with the $2. PS5 third-party support is better than last generation. Big facts.
Game Pass Premium is gonna be required. Like day and date's gonna go away from regular Game Pass.
Damn, it's crazy because I'm gonna tell you this, Nithos. There's a lot of dudes who stacked up on those 3-year.
It's coming up.
But the payoff for them during that time is like it was really nothing worthwhile, and they finally got games. They finally got some bangers, and then it's like, yeah.
That's why this is happening now because that's coming to an end, and they know it.
I know that's kind of.
I mean, Microsoft knew roughly where their roadmap was those years ago. Like game development just takes forever. So like, all right, we'll give them 3-4 years up front. By the time it's over, that's when the real games start coming out, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they bought that Compulsion Games in 2018. They're finally putting out a game this year.
And like, I do think that game's gonna be good. South of Midnight's gonna be very good.
Cool. I like it.
I have a feeling Fable's gonna be very good. But like, you're gonna have to start paying for that
Dark
shit.
is good.
That's funny that they finally get quality and they quit. They quit once they finally get the quality games. You know what I mean?
I think Perfect Dark is a question mark.
Perfect Dark. No, I
love Perfect Dark, but I'm hoping it looked good, but I don't trust them.
Here's the thing, though, right? There is nothing to hold back. Like Phil said, there is no walls. The only way a game isn't going to come over, right, is either it's an old game and it's not worthwhile, or Yeah, exactly. Or if it's a smaller game that it's just not worth the port, because porting games costs money. You got to hire a studio or a team to do the work. The reason why they were just not getting to Forza is because they had to hire this company. What was that company you said again? What's the company that's doing the port? Panic Button, right? They had to hire that company to do that.
Panic Button.
Yeah.
The people. Yeah,
Satya hit that panic button, and
call Panic Button.
Yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah, but I will say this though. I think most Xbox gamers, they were like, well, yeah, games are gonna come over, but as long as it's not the big three, we'll be okay. And now it's and I really want to know, like, I'm gonna be looking on Twitter and stuff and in YouTube, and I'm gonna see how they try to spin this. Will they say, it's an old game? It's a 3-year-old game, 4-year-old game.
I saw somebody was like, "Oh, you got the best the Horizon coming to PlayStation," or something like that. I was like,
dude, the cope. Oh man,
like crying watching your girlfriend walk away. It's like, oh.
But let's face it. Let's face it. And I'll tell you, Xbox guys, this. Listen, I know how you feel, because if Sony went out and said that they were going to move God of War or GT or some shit like that over to Xbox, we would fucking feel that way too. We would feel fucking the exact same way.
J-Dub, especially if Xbox had like a more powerful console that will make that game even better.
Yeah,
that's the craziest thing. The way this all went down, it's like they waited for the Pro, and the Pro is your Xbox refresh.
Yes, that's your mid-gen refresh.
It's crazy that they let that happen, because at least you could say, hey, it plays best here, let them get it, they'll get a port, but we got the best version. You can't even say that in the console realm.
Microsoft right now, they're like, we don't give a fuck where you buy the games from, as long as you buy the games, because we get money from Nintendo. We're gonna get money from PlayStation, from whether you buy it from PlayStation, whether you buy it on PC. It doesn't matter to them. And I think it's just like Nito said, we just have to embrace that new reality. And it's crazy, but it is what it is.
How can Phil sit there and talk to the Xbox guys after he told them that console and game sales don't matter for all them years, and in the end, they were important?
Well, he's a liar. He lied. He just told them.
They didn't matter for Xbox hardware, but they care about those PlayStation sales. They care about those Nintendo sales. Yeah. That's where they want to sell their games.
All those years, how many sandwiches you ate, how many people, how many tea bags were served, and Halo, they were counting bullshit. And it's about MAUs. It's not about console sales. And look what happened. They drove it down, and now they need to sell. Also, what's funny is that they said, we remember what was this whole play together that they have, they need them to survive. Phil said that. He's like, by putting games over there, that allows us to invest in our brand. Dude, they're protecting their investment, because I think if this doesn't work out, which I don't think it's going to work out financially for them. I think we're going to get a good games going other places, but I think in a couple of years or stuff, they're going to realize that this is not making enough waves, because they spent so much money that they would probably have to start shutting down studios and closing down and merging people, selling off assets. And I think this is to protect their $80 billion investment. They need to kind of show some money coming in.
That's going to happen. That's going to.
How do you make money though? Money's all about recurring revenue.
They spend so much. That's the problem. They spend so much.
It's all about recurring revenue. That's why they're going to try to push this Game Pass even harder and turn it into new horizons.
Yeah.
So they can get reoccurring revenue on the games they're already making. South of Midnight, how do you get reoccurring revenue off that? You can't. You got to put it in the service that people will just keep paying for.
Yeah. And you know what else the other thing is too, is that they're putting a lot of single player games, which are a lot of jump on Game Pass, play it and jump off. Where they're not putting a lot of these games that will be living in the service besides Call of Duty.
You can't. Let's be honest, Call of Duty, great.
Yeah.
You can't make a game as a service. All intents and purposes, look at what fucking happened with Sony. Let's be real.
Yeah.
You can't just jump into it. Microsoft's been trying, and they had one success with Sea of Thieves.
I'm glad they turned it. I'm glad they turned it around and changed things. They got rid of that shit because
they had one success with Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, but I will say this: I kind of don't want the future of Xbox, right? to just be a bunch of live service games. Because Call of Duty is a live service, and pretty much everything they have is live. I still want the Halo story. You know, what if the next Halo is just a multiplayer? And I get it, because Nita, you remember back in the day, back in the trenches when we was console warring, right? It was true. Most gamers play Halo for the multiplayer, not the story. Yeah. They play Gears for the multiplayer, not the story. And that one year, they released Call of Duty that didn't have a story, right? It was just a multiplayer, and people were like, oh, well, I still got to pay full price for a half a game and stuff. Because I'm a single player type of guy, I still want them to provide first party single player stuff for us.
Well, yeah, but I think that's disingenuous, because Microsoft's making more single player games than PlayStation.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
well, that is true. That is true.
Yeah.
PlayStation, I think, is turning it around.
But what I'm saying
they are turning around, but factually, Microsoft's making more single player games.
No, they're
doing that because of their service.
Yeah.
Because you can't go and
they are a third party publisher. They're a publisher, though. Of course, they're going to make more. Come on.
Yeah, but like he's saying, like they're gonna only make service games. Like that's not true. They're making more games than even PlayStation, but they're putting it into a service so they can get recurring revenue regardless.
Mm-hmm. You just reminded
Neth, how long do you think until we get ad supported?
I think they're already experimenting with that right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Coming.
Yeah.
Like I guarantee you, like you can buy Nike shoes, right, for some game, like shit like that. Like I mean, even with like PlayStation's, what's that new
Intergalactic? Yeah,
there's
they got
advertisement directly in the game.
Adidas. They got it's you know. Hey, listen, I'm not against it as long as it's in a classy type of way. Don't make it where it's like, in order to get to the next stage, I gotta click and watch this fucking 10-second commercial. Like, don't do that. Don't be intrusive. But I don't
boot
mind.
Up a game,
because even Madden, when you boot up Madden, right? You see those advertisements and shit that comes in. You just click the button to make it go away. I don't have a problem with that. But if I'm playing,
we don't have a problem with that, but don't be surprised if that shit keeps starting to creep its way in. Like I was trying Paramount today, right? I was like watching that Knuckles show. Do you know how many fucking advertisements is on Paramount? That shit is crazy.
Yo, Peacock is the worst. Like you open up a movie and it has like 2.5 minutes of commercials before you can even see what the movie is about. I don't even watch anything on there.
Hey, well, what's your name? Gaming Grindhouse. Hey, do you see the prices on these streaming like services now? Like you go to get a new Disney, and I gotta re-up on Disney, and it's like, hey, you can pay like $15 a month, but there's ads.
Yep.
Ads and $4. Yo, Amazon Prime does it all the time. I just did. Yes, it's like, oh yeah, $3 if you want to remove all these ads. It's ridiculous. And that's you're paying, you're still getting ads. So that's why I think like what they're gonna do, probably the next step is like you get Game Pass, $20-something a month, and then you boot up a game and maybe watch like a commercial, like you know, for like a minute, and then you can play your game. I think that's the next thing they're gonna do.
If you want to keep day and date, but if you want to pay that Game Pass Premium, then no ads, something like that. That's a possibility.
That's coming.
Yeah, we got Jagger Blaze just subscribe to the channel. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate everybody here, man. We have got everybody in there.
Saying this. It's listen, what's crazy is that this rumor started last year. Like at this time last year, was like one of the first games, especially Hi-Fi Rush. I wonder if that's when they were starting, like saying, like reporting, like they came out and behind the frosted glass and basically said, "Yeah, we're working on these things." This was like a year ago.
You're right. The rumor started a year ago, but J-Dub, you've been around. This rumor technically started a long time ago. Remember, like years ago, when we heard news that MCC Master Chief Collection was coming to the Nintendo Switch?
Yeah. Yep.
And that was from a reliable leaker. That shit never happened, but you're seeing it happen now because they're waiting for the Switch 2.
Yep.
It's becoming.
This was 2022. I want to say shit like this was starting.
And Phil wanted to put Halo on there last gen.
Oh yeah. But they said no. Like not Phil, but like the Sony and them said no.
Yeah.
Man, and I think the roller coaster ride that they created was like when they bought Bethesda, they will go when they bought ZeniMax, they were pushing for exclusives. Like they were going Starfield exclusive, Redfall exclusive, and they kind of reeled people back in, thinking, hey, they bought publishers, but then now they're going right back the other way. And I think that was the crazy part. Because if you remember, when they had no exclusives, they were having this talk then before they bought Activision, ZeniMax. They were very, exclusives don't matter because they didn't really have a lot of games. They were building all these studios. But they just kept that going. It probably would have been better. But the fact that they kind of brought everybody back in with this exclusive talk with Starfield to just kind of now turn it back around the other way, it's crazy. Like, it's a roller coaster, man.
I mean, that's what happens when we spend $80 billion on just one fucking thing. But also, when you think about it, look at Starfield. Like, that did good for the service, but did it really grow anything much? No, fucking Xbox hardware still went down.
Yep.
So, like, I think their games work. I think Game Pass is a great service, and Xbox is gonna be stronger than ever. But you gotta get that shit off Xbox hardware directly.
But
you gotta get to
it.
new places.
But nobody wants Game Pass. That's the thing. They don't. Nobody wants it. They don't want. Steam don't want it. PlayStation don't want it. Nintendo, like, they don't want it. That's why they're putting it on LG TVs. Who the hell wants it over there?
So okay,
for $20.
I do
but
have
even like if we use the Steam example, is Steam free? Yes, you can download for free, but is Steam free to host on Windows? That is not true.
No, they pay a license for that. Don't
Yeah, they do pay a license. Why do you think Steam pushes Steam OS so much? Why do you think they want to be on Linux so much?
Yeah,
they're
so they
trapped
want to
in
pay that
Microsoft's
30%.
house at the end of the day.
Yeah, they even have Steam on Mac, which there's limited games on that too.
Yeah, well,
it's like the only way to game on a Mac through Steam.
So that's why there's that Steam Microsoft relationship. Like, you know, they have a relationship whether they want it or not.
Well, they're going to take over these. That's why I think this handheld stuff, Microsoft's already late to the party. Like this Steam OS, these OS versions, these Steam versions of the hardware that these companies like Lenovo, Asus, they're just hardware makers. They're just going to make the hardware diarrhea. We got 2 screens, 1 screen. They're going to do that. But Steam versions of those are going to be like the AMD versus the Intel. Basically, Steam is going to be lower cost and probably better optimized. And Windows is going to have all that fluff, the compatibility, but it's going to be more pricey. And we see it with the Legion Go S. Like the Legion Go and the Legion Go, like the Steam version is cheaper than the Windows version. And I think that's going to dominate the handheld space because we're going to get this awesome hardware, which more power. Valve moves like a snail's pace, you know, for Steam Decks. And you're going to get these kind of like super powered Steam Decks with the Steam OS on it. It's like peanut butter and jelly. And Microsoft will be sitting there going, "Oh, what about all Windows thing?" While they try to figure out their app, but it's too late for them. Like they're going to be behind again.
Well, I'll tell you this: I do want to get you guys, especially you, Jess. What do you think about PlayStation's change of heart with these live service games, and as well them backtracking the whole transition to PC stuff? There's a couple of games that they announced today that they're no longer gonna be porting the games to PC. That includes GT7, Demon's Souls, and stuff like that. Of course, they're live service games, which we gotta assume Marathon is still a goal. Maybe Fair Games is still a go if they hadn't canceled that stuff. But Fair Game. They've basically did a 360. They said it was 12 games. They had a bunch of games for live service that they were working on, and then they say, you know what, this shit is not worth it. Fuck this. They gave up that whole initiative, and even porting games to PC, they're starting to backtrack on that. Spider-Man 2 dropped yesterday or today.
Today.
It's doing extremely horrible. They're looking at the numbers. Yeah, they're looking at the numbers, and it's not worth the effort.
It's already pirated.
Yeah, are you glad that they're doing that, or
I think. You know, one of the things that I always said, like Sony was going to FAFO, fuck around and find out. No, it's a family show, but they did. And Concord was that slap in the face, kick in the nuts that they needed to realize, because they went from 12, which that was idiotic. First of all, it was un-Sony-like to what they were doing. They basically announced their intent of service games before we even saw them, knew them, or whatever. And then they tailored that back down to 6. And then now they're doing what they're doing now. And I think it looks like, and also putting that hardware guy in charge, that's who you want in charge, the guy who's making the hardware, because he knows that if PlayStation is not important anymore, he's out of a job. And if he's the CEO, because he's a hardware guy, he's like, if nobody wants the hardware, then guess what, I'm out. And give Herman to what he's doing, because Herman was no CEO type. Like, he was the gaming guy, and you know, let him run the studios with his chest hairs and his 3 buttons undone, doing cartwheels and you know, making sure that people get, you know, straighten out. But I feel that it's a good move for them if this what it yields. The one worry I have is how much time have they wasted, and how many, like, you know, how long until we get these games? Like, does this leave a black hole? I think now we know that why they haven't had showcases. They've been in this kind of like transition phase of like, we're going to go service. And I think they were like, do we do it? Do we not? And now it seems like they're reining in and realizing, just like Nintendo does, that their IP is what identifies them. And if they start whoring that shit out and putting it everywhere with quality questions and things like that, they're gonna lose what represents them. And like you were saying before, if PlayStation's done, if nobody buys a console, like Sony, the whole company's out of business. Like same thing with Nintendo. Like these are their bread and butter. So their IP are their babies. And if they mess with that stuff, then you know, that's probably another reason why, you know, Naughty Dog did what they did. Basically, you know, they're like, hey, we could be a service company, or we could give those great games that, you know, made movies and made TV shows and stuff. They're like, okay, well, you're gonna do that now. Scrap the service thing because we don't want to lose that. And and I think that's a good pivot that they're doing. I'm just worried about how much you know, how much did we lose from that? But you could see how quickly they moved. See, that's why I feel like Sony is definitely much more agile. They're a small company than Microsoft, so they actually, you know, they're just stopping the stuff. Like Microsoft was like a Titanic trying to do a U-turn. You know, they would just, Sony's like just did like you know, it was a Gran Turismo kind of 180, like all right, you're gone. We just announced co-CEOs, but now we got one CEO, the hardware guy, and this is the way we're gonna go. So I'm glad. I hope it yields. They realize that their IP, single player games, the power of the console, focus on development of one you know, to device to maximize the potential, and then ship it later on PC. Like, let them do it. And also they pulled back on the PSN requirements, which makes it look like to me that they're kind of that MAU shit that they were trying to bolster and all that other stuff. It was just for
the 4 games. It was just for the 4.
They pulled it back on those, on the single player. Like the multiplayer don't keep it on there, but again, it's sort of like, you know, people thinking that they're going to create this kind of PlayStation, you know, PC store. And now when they're pulling back those requirements. So
shout out to Killer for subscribing to the channel. Appreciate that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm happy. I'm glad, as a, you know, PlayStation fanboy, I'm glad that because we see the numbers every month. We not even every month. We just see the numbers. PC dudes don't fuck with the PlayStation games like that. They just don't, right? Helldivers 2, because that was the type of game that's traditionally on PC, you know, that type of shooter, stuff like that, that fits that platform. But Spider-Man and God of War and all that shit, they don't fuck with that. They don't play single player games like that. We got my brother Blaze in the house. Blaze, what a hell of a day, brother.
Yo.
What's good?
Hey, God is good, brother. That's all.
God is good. God is good. Let me get your thought on that. What do you think? 2 things. First of all, the most important thing, right? What do you think about this new Sony strategy, or at least Sony backtracking on live service and Sony backtracking on bringing their games to PC? Did you see they're no longer going to be porting games like GT7 and Demon Souls and stuff to PC? So they're giving. It seems like they're giving up on their PC initiative because it's not worth it. There's just people just don't, you know, according to the numbers, they're just not buying it in any capacity that's worth their while. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think that's a good idea? Do you think bad, or, you know, what's your take on it?
I've always strong console space first. If you don't have a strong console space, you're gonna fail as a company. I've always said that. I don't care. I think listen, it's not too late to turn back for PlayStation. Yeah, they didn't even put out any marketing for Spider-Man 2. Dudes didn't even know specs what was going on with this game. You know what I mean? So and you're right. Helldivers is the anomaly that does really well on that. But I feel like a lot of these dudes are not, you know, they're not worried about God of War. They're not really appreciating this type of shit. You know what I mean? All these PC dudes I know. Listen, I'm a PC guy too, but I'm different. These guys just buy God of War to run a fucking benchmark for their channel. You know what I mean? Get some views and dip, you know, and return this shit. So for me, listen, I think if they turned and they did a 180 like Jez is saying, you know what I mean? It adds value to the console again. You know what I mean? Because if you're just gonna give this shit out for free on every platform, we already have an example of what's gonna happen to you. There's already an example. I don't know why people are making all these. Oh well, I don't know. Who knows what's gonna? No, we know what's gonna happen because we have Exhibit A right there, Xbox.
Yeah.
We know what's gonna happen. I think make your console space strong. Give me reasons to keep my console. Give me reasons to keep playing on my console. And at the end of the day, that's what I think is important. You know what I mean? Like let people people want to be excited for the next PS6. If you're telling them that these games are coming on PC and PlayStation, and you see these release dates are getting closer and closer and closer. For me, I like having value in the console. You know what I mean? And this is a way for them to, put their foot down. And listen, Demon Souls is an excellent game. Gran Turismo, there's people probably dying to play that shit on PC. There is a few out there, there's sim guys that want to play that shit. But I love to see it, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that they're backtracking. I'm glad that they're making some moves that they're making. It seems like they're shaking up stuff in the management position. It seems like, again, like I said, they're backtracking on the PC space. It seems like they're backtracking on all the live service stuff that a lot of people were against anyway. So if they can do that,
let me ask you a question, Jay.
Yeah.
Like, what does and what's up, Blaze? How you doing, man? Happy New Year. I don't think I talked to you yet.
Yeah, you already know.
One of the things too is that how beneficial is it to them when Spider-Man's coming out? Not there's issues. Nix's port didn't work. Last of Us on PC. Like, how does that make their IP look? Does that strengthen their IP when it's just a bad PC port? Like when they're playing it on PlayStation, it's like look at the ray tracing, look at the capabilities of this game on this hardware. Then put it on PC and it's like, this game runs like crap. Like, how does that give a good image to their IP and strengthening it, making people want to play it when it's a bad port? It hurts it.
Well,
and the brand all around too. I agree with that.
It does, but on the flip side, at least it shows you that their bread and butter and where their focus really is on their console. It's not on PC.
Yeah,
now, if we see this big grand rollout with subways and basketball stadiums and football stadiums like they normally do when they got a big first party game come out, if we see that advertising for PC, we need to be scared. Because that means they're throwing a lot of money behind it. The fact that they basically still dropped this goddamn Spider-Man game, that's kind of good for the gamer who doesn't want to see them focus on PC, right? So it's twofold. And because I still got the video, like Herman Hull said, is their goal is not to transition a PC gamer to, a Xbox gamer to a PC gamer. They want to transition a PC gamer potentially to a PlayStation gamer. If not, they just still want them to pick up a extra console, just so they don't have to wait for that sequel. So they don't have to wait 2 years for a year, 6 months, whatever, for a sequel. They want, the law of averages are there. So it made perfect sense. But there wasn't this big grand roll. They didn't put the system requirement. They didn't put nothing. They just dropped this game and said, and maybe they knew. They look at the numbers. They're like, listen, we just put this game, this Ghost of Tsushima out on PC. Nobody fuck with it. We just put this game on PC. Nobody fuck with it. You know what? Fuck with this shit. It's not worth it.
You know what, J-Dub, it was probably an obligation. Like they had a contract to put the game out, and they had to, but the bare minimum requirements, make sure the game runs properly, shit like that. But hey,
true,
like
but
I said, man, I'm a big. Listen, I want to get into this real quick, J-Dub. I'm sorry to cut you off, bro, but I'm a big advocate for like the Soulcoms coming back. Maybe Killzone multiplayer.
Absolutely,
but not like this. When people are telling me, "Oh, Blaze, you coping? Oh, you mad?" Like you think I'm mad about a God of War spin-off multiplayer? I don't give two shits about that shit, bro.
Yeah,
that's the problem right now. Every single company, every single developer is trying to throw fucking spaghetti at the wall, hoping they become the next big juggernaut of the gaming industry, and that's the damn problem. Like, you got franchises in your fucking catalog that have sold millions and millions of copies. Give them chances. You know what I mean? You already got a fan base for them. Give that shit a go.
Give them a good
instead of trying to create some bullshit that nobody wants to play. J-Dub, you want to play God of War Ascension? Listen, it was fun, but like really as a main state, like, come on, bro.
Well, listen, I will say this. With those games that we found out about, here's the thing. They never told us that they were working on those, and Yoshida said you'll be surprised at some of the stuff that they've canceled that we never know about. They try stuff all the time. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it don't. Sometimes they get halfway through it and be like, this is just not, it's not working. Forget it. Go to something else. They do that all the time. Yoshida said that. Shuhei Yoshida said that. And so as a gamer, because he said that let us in on more insight of how these companies do. It's not like they say, hey, start this game and then, okay, well, you're going to cancel it later. They don't do that. And we know that because we were all complaining about Factions, most people were complaining about Factions 2 being canceled. Well, we won't have any game this generation because Factions 2 and blah, blah, blah. And they weren't. And then 2 months later, they come out and show you Interstellar. They have been working on that for 4 years. They can do more than one at a time. That just because they're doing X, Y, and Z, studios go off. They got little, they might put 20 developers over here to try some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm hoping, dude. That's what I'm hoping with all these cancellations that they got a couple of things going on. That's what I mean. Like this black hole, hopefully it's not that too deep.
Jez, that's what I'm hoping to, because if you're telling me that Ben Studio, Blue Point Games have wasted 3-4 years of their, you know what I mean? And now we're not going to get anything from them this whole PS5 generation.
That's what I'm worried about.
That's the problem right there, J-Dub. I'm telling you, it's a big problem. I think it's just listen, for me, I think Sony's got to really take a step back. People always glaze the PS4. The PC got the PS4 was such a better generation. But you guys screaming about multiplayer and you want multiplayer. Which one is it? If the PS4 is so great, then what's wrong with the blueprint? Why can't we just continue making single player games? You know what I mean? They want to say how great the PS4 is, but how bad the PS5 is. I don't get it. Y'all want multiplayer games, but all the PS4 had was single player games, bro. Other than third party support, it was all single player bangers, bro. So, you know what I mean? And everybody tells me that the PS4 was so great, which it was. But what's wrong with the PS5 going back and just making single player games? Now it's a problem, but you love the PS4. It don't make any sense, bro. These dudes are not making no sense, J-Dub. I'm telling you, bro. They trying to fucking make videos for their shit, bro. I can't stand a lot of people in this industry. I don't like nobody in this community, J-Dub. I mean, I got 10, 20 people I rock with. Everybody's fake. Everybody's just bullshit, bro. Just talking shit out. You know what I mean? Spewing shit out their mouth, bro.
Yeah, the thing is too, the multiplayer is established already. You got your Fortnite, your Call of Duties, all the Marvel Legends and rivals, Apexes. Why are you putting out fighting with that? That's why the PS4 was such that whole thing is you do what you do well. Let the multiplayer go there. Let us pay for online or whatever like that, which that's bullshit anyway. But still, let's just pay. Get your interaction that way with multiplayer. Let them do that. We do what we do best, and that's it. Why are we going to try to do something and compete? And that's what they learned with Concord. As soon as they made a multiplayer game, it's dude, oh yeah, that's Overwatch. It's oh shit, see what happens? Yep. But maybe if you did a single player game and you made it like Space Marines and all this other stuff, nobody's gonna. You're your own thing. So do that. Nobody's comparing Intergalactic to anything.
It's not lucrative enough, right? I want. Hey. Make Killzone add a multiplayer, but that's not good enough. You know, I
know Ghost of Tsushima model Blaze. What the hell? They did that incredible game, and then they had that multiplayer come out later. Dude, why don't they do that again? Even the thing with Ragnarok, they had that incredible game, and then they put out that great rogue that type mode at the end. Dude, that's great. I love that model. Where the hell is that shit? Even the model.
You know what it is, Jess? It's not lucrative for them.
Yeah, you're right. It's not.
Listen, we got to be honest with each other, bro. All these companies want to squeeze every nickel and dime out of us.
They're not our friends.
But you know what? I do think the traditional way of making a single player game with a nice multiplayer attached to it can still work. It can. It can, bro. It absolutely can. I don't want to hear it, man. You know what I mean?
It can work. Even if they put a friggin' battle pass in if they want to do some sort of lucrative money, you do Ghost of Tsushima, make it come out, you sell the game, then you put the multiplayer thing on there later on, and then put a battle pass on. Dude, that's what GTA did. And they never made a game in 5 years, 7 years, because they took a single player game, they added the multiplayer a month later, and that's it. And the multiplayer, they added passes to it, and that's what they did for the last decade.
The free to play industry, to me, is a cancer, and it's
I hate the friggin' free to play bullshit.
It's killing this. It's killing. I'm telling you, man, because people are playing Marvel Rivals. They're sitting there putting a bunch of time into it, and guess what? Every once in a while, they buy the battle pass, throw a little money at it, Yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm not saying that's a bad game, right? Because Marvel Rivals, I put a lot of time in myself,
it's a
but
good
it's just
game.
like, it's just
I'm playing that
aggravating.
right now. Playing that
Yeah, game is freaking
Yeah,
awesome.
but
It is good
yeah,
though.
it's
It's
just
a
Yeah,
completely free to play.
But I mean, I think the problem is like Blaze. You're talking about how the PlayStation 4 dominated, obviously, and it had single player games as their lineup. Like I think we all agreed the PS4 was great. Like I'm an Xbox guy, and I think the PS4 is fucking great, right? But these games are fucking expensive to make, dude. And when you have a game like Helldivers that makes more money than Spider-Man, like you guys start looking at things different.
I understand, but give me, bro, PlayStation, give me $300,000. I'll promise you, I'll make SOCOM, bro. That's
But
all
you know
I need.
what?
Well,
really
it's
don't
not
care.
guaranteed they'll even work.
But you
That's
want to know what,
another
dude? I
issue.
don't give a shit how much it makes. I don't watch a movie in the movie theater. Go, I wonder what the budget was for this movie.
Hey, you
I
don't give
want
a
them just
fuck.
to
They
just
do.
make me the friggin' game, and I'll
No,
play the
no.
game. That's
Bro,
it.
that's
some bullshit.
No,
Nah,
it's their
Yes,
job
it
to
is.
worry about budget and spending and voice acting. You don't need to get goddamn what's his name to voice act. Get somebody else to voice act. You don't pay his ass. Pay somebody
Oh
else.
yeah. That's true. But I'm saying like they
That's not our
care
job.
how much money they make.
But our job's not to worry about their budgets and shit.
Bro, we're
Like,
paying
let it
too
come
much
out.
attention to
Yeah,
the
but don't you
stupid
worry about if
bullshit,
PlayStation's gonna keep making money?
bro.
I don't care.
So
As
they
long as
keep
they come
making
out with
games?
games, and I buy them. That's about it.
Bro, these developers, listen, everybody
Let's
was
get
like, oh
worried
my
about
God,
budgets.
oh my God, Ben.
Wait, we just had a whole conversation how Xbox is getting out of here. But now
No,
you're saying like,
it's
oh, I don't give a
the
fuck. I'm not a PlayStation
content.
fan.
Bro,
That's the service of the content. We're not
Right.
talking about making the game. Like you're talking about the budgets of making the
Right.
game, and they're paying staff and what kind of
Yeah.
CGI they're using and AI like that. If the games are getting expensive, then they have to adjust and pivot accordingly to make sure that they
But
make
that's
money
all
and
I'm
stay in
saying.
business. But that's
they
not.
are
We're talking about
pivoting.
sales dropping. We're talking about like them making a game. Like, do you watch a movie and go like, "Oh man, they must have spent a lot of money on those special effects. I wonder if they'll make a movie."
Oh
again
yeah,
with
like
this."
I'm gonna look at that new Captain America movie. That's gonna fucking flop, and they spent a whole bunch of money making it.
Yeah, that make Harrison Ford. They should
Yeah.
make him red.
Bro, I don't care about none of these dudes' pockets. I don't care about the suits. I don't care about none of that shit, bro.
Yeah, but
I
you
really
care
don't.
about if PlayStation's gonna stay around,
Listen, as
and they're
long
gonna
as
keep going with
PlayStation-
God of War.
Listen, that it doesn't mean you need to try to make the next Fortnite. I'm sorry, it doesn't mean that. Like, that's the problem. Everybody thinks
Yeah,
that
but you also need
No,
to
but you
do
can make
things
a
different.
successful multiplayer game, bro, and still be successful. You don't need to be Fortnite to make money. You just said Helldivers made more money than Spider-Man. You don't need
Yeah,
to
and
be
that's a
the next
service game.
Fortnite. Okay, but you don't. But bro, how much you think got put into Helldivers 2?
A hell of a lot less than Spider-Man and made more money.
Right.
Shuhei didn't say it made more money. He said it
Yeah, he
sold
did.
more than Spider-Man. He said it sold more, and it was a $40 game nonetheless. He said it
Is it-
sold more. He didn't say it
Oh,
made
that's a
more
big
money.
difference.
He
That's
says,
a big
"What
difference.
year have you seen that Helldivers 2 will sell more than Spider-Man?"
So
Because it
you
sold
really
more.
think Spider-Man was more profitable than Helldivers?
Well, it was a $70 game. Helldivers was a $40 game, and
Yeah.
Helldivers was on 2 platforms, and Spider-Man was
Yeah,
on
and
1.
Helldiver has transactions. Spider-Man doesn't.
Well, he didn't say. Well, I'm just saying he didn't say money.
No,
He said sold. He
I
did
would
not
play
say
no.
it makes more money than that.
It makes more money.
Well, you do. I guess you know better than Shuhei, because he didn't say it makes more money. He said it sold more than Spider-Man.
So it sold more as a service game. You think? And by the way, how much
What's
money
the
did it take to
game?
make a Helldivers versus Spider-Man?
I don't
Like,
know.
we're not even- Oh, now we don't know.
I don't know how much it takes to make Helldivers or Spider-Man. I have no
So you
clue.
So you
What
think
I'm saying is,
Spider-Man
what
is
he
the same
said
cost
was,
as
if
Helldivers?
you're saying that it made more money. He
Yes.
said it just sold more than Spider-Man.
It sold more than Spider-Man and it cost less to make.
So you're assuming that it made more money, but he didn't say
It
that.
definitely
That's
made
what I'm
more
just
money.
saying. Okay,
Bro,
what do you say?
Bro, okay, but you're not gonna get 2 fucking Helldivers in a row. Like, bro, that's the problem. Like, yeah, oh yeah, one made a lot of
No,
money.
no,
That doesn't mean
I
these
fully
other
agree
things are,
with you
like,
guys when you
good.
say like you shouldn't go service games. Like I'm not even gonna argue that, but I am saying you can't keep making single player games like you did with the PS4.
I think you can.
Like it's just not. No, it's not
What?
sustainable.
I disagree.
And if it was as sustainable, then they wouldn't have gone this route to begin with.
No, you know why they're going this route? Because the
saying
whole
something
industry's
else with
going
this
this
shit.
route. The whole industry's going this route.
And
It's
why
not-
are they going this route? Game
They-
development's
They're
expensive.
all hot on it after COVID, and then what happened was all these service games got bit in the ass, like multiverses, and all of them went into the service shit. That was the whole hotness. You know, the industry likes to copy each other, and then what happened was realized that we got overflow of service games. Not everybody you cannot have 12 service games and expect, oh, I'm going to invest all my money in season passes and Helldivers. Oh, and then here comes Concord. Let me get their season passes and these season passes and these. Fuck that. You can't do that. That's why announcing that many service games is stupid.
Wallet, everything is trying to take money out your wallet, bro. And all these
time and money.
Right.
No.
Right.
And that's what happens, that they flooded the industry. You saw how many service games failed. A Rogue Company rode its way out. We had the Multiverses came on and they even went to streamers. That failed. And then they realized, you know what I mean? And also the problem that I hated what Sony was doing was that the friggin' Sony was taking their studios that made those games and telling them to make service games. That was some horse shit. See, what I liked was that they were getting fair games. Go buy these little bitch ass studios. Let them take the service game experiment. Don't take Naughty Dog and turn them into a service. Don't take Bend and turn them into a service. That was bullshit. So I'm glad that shit's canceled.
The best remastered, Blue Point's so talented, bro. Let them at least
create God of War. What the fuck? Who?
I mean, at least let them make their own game before you have them doing some bullshit, bro.
That's some bullshit. Yeah, God of War multiplayer game. Wasn't it be like Smite?
I think the whoever
greenlit that God of War game needs fired.
Yeah.
Herman. That's why he got the whoever greenlit
that.
Herman.
No, I agree. I think service games is like a doomed effort. No, I'm not even going to argue that.
It's a risk.
But I am saying that making the single player games as is isn't as sustainable. That's why you're seeing things change with Naughty Dog. You're seeing advertisements directly in the game. They have to do things like that.
But you said Microsoft is making all single player games.
Microsoft's making single player games get Game Pass. That's how they get recurring revenue. That's a whole element you're ignoring.
For Game Pass, but Game Pass is not growing.
Game Pass is not growing because it's not on PlayStation and Nintendo.
It never will. It's going to grow. But Phil said Game Pass is not growing. They are
because it's on a console that nobody cares about.
We're up because of Call of Duty 2%. So all those single player games from Bethesda and ZeniMax, they're not doing anything for Game Pass. So I don't know how they're making their money back for that stuff.
I bet
ZeniMax already in development.
Yeah. But hold on. Now you're twisting my words. What did I say? I said Game Pass is not growing because it's on Nintendo. It's on Sony.
You said single player games are not lucrative, and I'm saying Microsoft's making those single player games.
They're not as lucrative. That's why they put in a Game Pass so you get a recurring revenue.
Yeah, but all their major releases coming out are all single player games, bro. All of them.
Yeah, and that's why they have it in a service so they get recurring revenue regardless if it's a service or not.
So do you think Doom? You think id Software rather get a $70 tag from Xbox, PlayStation, PC, or just some bullshit?
I think Microsoft would rather get 100 million subscribers than send 10 million at $70.
Good luck with that, bro. People are just gonna play the game and dump it like they always do.
And we'll see how good your side does, and Death Stranding too. Believe me, people there's a world of so much flood and free to play bullshit that those games are refreshing when that shit comes out, and they just got to be of quality. That's the thing. You can't make single player bullshit. We'll fix it later. We'll add frames later. No, you got to put that shit out, hit hard, and make your money back like a blockbuster movie in the middle of the summer. And that's what Sony's making sure they're doing. They're not going to put out single player horse shit because you're right. It is costly. It is a waste of money, and they wasted money with Concord. So they lost money in service games too. So.
Yeah. Look at Jedi Survivor, how big that took a hit. That would have won awards when it came out.
Look at Indiana Jones. Jackie Jones not selling like shit.
And the thing about it is those are big licenses for those IPs. Half of the development cost was just it's not cheap to get a Star Wars license. Or Indiana Jones license. Let me get some of these viewers.
Or a Spider-Man license.
Exactly. Mount Cash 1 with the $2. You forgot Helldivers 2 has microtransactions. Yep.
That's what I'm saying, but we're ignoring that.
Yeah. Helldivers 2 has monthly Battle Pass-esque microtransactions too. JP Loco.
I haven't even bought none of that.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Why Helldivers 2 works though? Helldivers 2 was a PC game that PlayStation just invested into. That's why that shit worked.
Yeah.
It wasn't PlayStation that made that money. It was PC.
Yeah. Well, it was when it went at launch, it was like a 50-50 sale, 50-50 PC.
Yeah. And then PC kept gaining traction.
You want to know what? The PC is where it's getting its legs. There's a lot of people playing it on PC.
Yeah,
which shows that the PlayStation and that's the other thing. You got to know your audience
the PC
too.
Games. Yeah, exactly.
You gotta remember the PlayStation audience, like you're saying with the PlayStation 4, like those single player games and stuff like that. The audience, you got to build for the audience that you're doing. They may not want multiplayer games all the time. They built on that stuff. So just like Nintendo, they're not gonna put chopping off heads on the Nintendo Switch and people ripping off arms. They're gonna put out friendly family games because that's what their audience buys.
I think that's what's kind of tough. So you want to keep these quality games like your God of War, your Last of Us, and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But guys, let's be real. Like fanboy shit aside, let's not even argue this. These games are gonna cost like 400 million. Like I'm not even joking. That's what they're gonna cost.
As long as they keep coming.
Well, no. But how do you fucking make money? If you are selling 10 million, that's not enough.
I don't know.
I don't care as a consumer. Make it a big budget game.
Money.
Don't give a shit about it.
But that's the fanboy shit I'm talking about. Like,
no, it's not a fanboy. I'm a consumer. I want the best shit you got.
You managing their books? Like, are you worried about how?
No. They will make it smaller. They'll make them smaller. They'll make them smaller.
Thank you,
They'll make the game smaller.
That's all I'm saying. Like you can't
That's what
keep
they'll
spending
do.
400 million, you get the same sales regardless.
Which to be honest, these fucking games, these games have been bloated for years. They've just been adding more shit on top of more shit,
Ubisoft.
and it didn't do anything. So yeah,
hold on. They're making their profits. Let's not mistake it. They're making their profits. They sell a shitload of copies of these games. They make their money back.
$70 a pop, bro.
Yeah, they make their money. Like God of War or like Spider-Man 2 cost what, $300 million. They made their money back and some. They made a lot. So it's not like they're losing money, and it's not like they're like, oh, they're barely breaking even. No, they do that. It's just the industry.
Be 30 hours instead of 100.
The industry knows that the price of it is going up. So that means you got to keep selling a lot of these games to continue to make it profitable. But also, what Sean Layton and Shuhei Yoshida said is it's built into their model. They know they're not going to make a profit on everything, but they still have to provide because it's with their fans. It's what's the cost of doing business. Yeah, it's what the cost of doing business. Sure, they would probably like to make a bunch of $50 million games.
Next-gen exclusives either.
Well, yeah.
That's
But that perspective though comes from the fact that the install base. No, it's really
because Returnal is fucking Horizon. Like that's what I'm saying. Like they had to change things up.
Said they didn't have it. They did.
Yeah, they got Demon Souls 2. They got Gran Turismo 2.
We're talking about the big games though.
Yeah, with those.
I'm talking about the 300+ million game.
Well, they also had 140 or something install base of the PS4, and the COVID happened. Microsoft used COVID. Sony used COVID. And they made I said I don't think those games were meant to be on the PS4. I think they pivoted. That's why a lot of them got delayed.
Yeah, they have to make
PlayStation 4 versions because I think the chip shortages of the PS5, it wasn't going as fast enough for them that they couldn't sustain the cost of the game on that small install base. So they had to port it to the PS4 so they could sell more copies.
And I do think
comparisons did they show? I don't even think I didn't even know those games existed on the PS4. I didn't see anybody show me the differences. I don't even know.
Definitely can make these games a little bit smaller though. Whoever said that is correct.
They can. Of course they can.
Make huge experiences every time.
And that's all I'm saying. When I say like to change things up, I don't mean like stop making these games. I'm saying like you have to like make them smaller. You have to put the advertisement. You got to like down my throat. Like, oh my god, how dare you say something?
I'm just understand these games.
How dare you question my PlayStation?
Brother, I just talk like that. Don't worry about it. Sorry if I said
let me pay the bill real quick, but I do got a question for you on that same thing. JP Loco with the $5. Sony only needed 1 or 2 live service games to be a hit in order to fund other projects, and right now was the safest time to experiment. Also, and I'll get to that point because Shuhei Yoshida talked about that. Shutterglass 23 with the $2. Been with PlayStation since PlayStation 1. No interest in live service games. The true, a lot of us aren't. JP Loco with the $5. Sean Layton started that live service push. He even said he did, and that they needed their own equivalent to Fortnite to fund other projects. Okay, definitely. But not Sean Layton, but Shuhei Yoshida said that live service stuff operates off of a totally different budget than their single player stuff. They have money set aside for movies, TV shows, and new investments such as live services and subscriptions. So none of that money is coming out of that single player. It's not like they say, hey, we're not going to do this single player game to go fund this multi. That's not how they do it. So that was good for me to hear him say that. So a lot of people could calm down and not think that they're not going to get X, Y, and Z. OG Gangsta Mac with the $5. Microsoft games are about to take over multiple gaming storefronts. PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. Sony top 10 games might mostly be Xbox games. Oh man, hold that line, brother.
Oh, damn.
Hold that line.
Hold that line.
Yeah, hold that line. I ain't gonna lie. The next couple of weeks are gonna be funny as hell with some of the things that people are gonna say all of a sudden. How it's gonna be spit. Yeah, it's listen,
Microsoft making money. You're putting food on Phil's plate by buying it.
They're officially They're officially Sega. So right.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sega keeping the console around.
Blaze, Blaze and Ethos, let me ask you this: why do you guys think it's so hard for some people to accept that and admit it?
Bro, because they have. Yeah, you go first, go ahead, bro.
Well, I mean, you probably have a better point, but I'm just gonna say it's the same shit like how you keep console warring, J-Dub. It's hard to get out of that mindset of like the console war. Like we just have to accept Xbox has given up, and they're out of here.
No, he already know.
No, it's true though. Like he keeps like comparing the console with the console war's over,
that's
bro.
True. That's true.
Like, don't even talking about it anymore.
No, it is.
I wouldn't. Real talk. If I couldn't do what I do, man, I wouldn't. Like it would get a real boring. Like and that's one thing I got to worry about. Right? Is it going to be less? I'm not going to have anything to pop shit over. I'm used to the console war has been very good to me. So I met a ton of great people, had a lot of battles and wars, and now I get to brag, and now it's gonna, can't argue with Nintendo, damn,
you ratioed with the kids. Cut it out, bro. I did. Everybody on Twitter.
That's true. That's true.
As long as Phil Spencer's there, there's gonna be plenty of entertainment coming his way because he's gonna be stumbling all the way.
Well, and that's the thing. Some tells me that this is gonna be Phil's last year. I think Sarah Bond is going to take over because that initiative, I think it was Phil's job to make that transition.
Man, now call Don Matrick and save it, baby. Come on, hit him up, bro.
I think
get some Rise 2 in business. Let's go.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I think Phil he's tapped out.
Have you seen Phil Spencer? I think he's fucking done.
I don't know what's going on with him.
He's a night and day. This guy is fucking Did you see when he did that interview with Destin and Destin asked him, well, just about Starfield? Well, we know some games will come in, but is it safe to say that Starfield? And he looked at him, he shook his head, he was like, "No, there's no wall." And I keep telling you this shit, but you fuckers keep asking me the same question over and over. And I keep telling you they're coming. But when I seen Phil's expression, I'll play that clip back. You can tell he's frustrated. He's tired of saying the same shit over and over. And there's still guys out there saying, well, it's not all the games, it's just some. It's like, of course, he's not going to port Redfall and fucking some Bleeding Edge. Of course not. But the bulk of the stuff
is calculated. Those interviews were all calculated to those community people that will spread the word to get ready for Forza Horizon announcement. He knew this shit was coming.
Yep.
He knew that he had to soften the blow, so he went on those interviews all timed.
Look, one day, listen, on a Monday, he does on a Monday he does the interview with Paris and Destin. On a Tuesday, the financials come out, and on a Wednesday, Horizon drops. Well, I'm just using that. Just use that analogy, right? Within the last 3 days, we've got this news.
Sony's home to all the Horizons.
The home of Horizon.
Oh, yeah, you gotta trademark that.
I'm gonna put it out right now. That's it. I'm putting on X right now.
That's pretty good.
Copy me.
That's pretty fucking good, bro.
Hey, man, I'm about to get ready to close this thing down. Jez, I know you're gonna be streaming later. Blaze, dude, I know you're gonna be streaming. Nethos, it's been great, man. The console war has been great, man. I do want to ask you this one last question. Thinking back, how we were in the DM and we were doing the podcast and stuff all those years, did you think we would end up here?
Honestly, Jay, I knew we would end up here eventually, but I was just talking shit as long as I could.
Yeah.
Wait, he's a bot?
I was.
Yeah, he's the.
There is no bot anymore. It's over.
Yeah. And now on PC.
Yeah.
You know why? I remember. I've been listening to you guys all the time on what's his name's on Next Gens, dude.
Yeah,
you were a huge Halo fan, man. I
am a huge Halo fan.
I know. That's I used to listen to all the time. I know. I used to watch it.
Speaking of the devil.
Yeah.
because you were a huge Halo and you were pissed off about that Infinite stuff.
Yeah.
Pissed off a lot of people, man.
I like Halo Infinite. Low key, I really did.
Yeah. Well, tell you what, the next Halo is going to be on PlayStation, so we can all agree to that. Anyway, thank y'all for coming out, rocking out with me, man. I want to give a special thanks to the panel. We got my brother Blaze, Jez, the real Jez, not the bootleg Jez. The Heathen Stevens, my brother like no other, Next Gen 720. We got my brother Neethles in the house, and then Manhattan, you know what I'm saying, Mr. Manhattan in the house.
And Levon.
Yeah, and Levon, he came, he fell through, you know what I'm saying, had to get his bars off. We're probably going to go live on Next Gen 720 channel, maybe about 30 minutes, an hour or something like that. We'll be on. Check out Blaze's channel. He always does his show, JS with the Gaming Grindhouse. You go check out his show. And, you know what I'm saying, y'all know where to find us on Twitter. Listen, the console war is officially over. Neeto's already said it's a wrap. It's over. It's done. We gotta just move on to it is what it is, man. It's kind of a glorious day, but it's kind of a sad day. Z, we're gonna have to find another lane to jump in, brother.
We about to fuck these PC dudes up.
There we go. The platform wars coming soon.
Publisher wars.
The platform wars coming soon. But I am happy that Sony decided to, slack up on doing that PC shit. Fuck them.
I don't blame them.
The motherfucking Spider-Man 2 dropped today. Ain't nobody bought that shit. Ain't but 3 copies was bought. But then to be fair, not many PCs could actually run Spider-Man 2 according to Steam. You know what I'm saying? And they PCs, so I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? So salute to them. But we finna get ready to get out of here, man. We finna get ready out of here.
17,000 people playing Spider-Man 2 on Steam right now. 17,000.
But Blaze, ain't this like 3 billion PCs in the world, brother?
Brother, what I'm saying to you is that's a really, really low number.
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's Indiana Jones was around that.
When it was 5 million. It was 5 million.
They already pirated it. It's already on there. So.
2 minutes, it was cracked.
Wait. PlayStation sold like 5 million copies in 2 days. So, you know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers ain't but 17,000 people. Like, man, listen, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
That's why they're pulling it.
Yeah. Thank y'all for coming to rock out with me, man. We had about 400 people in here today. Phil Spencer came through, Aaron Greenberg, everybody came through. Go ahead and hit the like button. Yeah, ship it out. You know what I'm saying? We gonna have Satya Nadella on our podcast a little bit later, so check us out in about 30 minutes to an hour. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna ask him some questions. Peace. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah, buddy. Oh man. Hey, you